Welcome back to another edition of 13 Card Subject Change. My voice is a little bit off today, so there will be points where Jesse's going to have to take over. Mostly because Leroy cannot read the results to Forbbiden Door. We already proved that in the pre-show. Also, folks,
Jesse is better at reading those lovely people from Japan.
He's heard their names many more times.
They got very hard names to pronounce if you do not know it.
I have kind of preferably slobbed on the knob of these Japanese wrestlers.
Yes, you have.
I would hope I can pronounce their names.
But welcome to the show where the three hosts will not be submitting applications to Maxim male models because Lord knows we ain't getting in that.
I mean, we know we ain't getting in that
we know we ain't getting in that.
I don't know about you. I think me and Jesse have a chance.
You might have a chance.
You might have a chance,
Me
man.
and Jesse, I think, have a chance.
I mean,
I'm fighting for you, Jesse.
Unless I lose 45 pounds, I don't think Max is going to consider me.
Hey, now, wait a minute. Women love big guys.
They do, but Max does not.
Max does not.
Well, who cares about him?
It's his company.
Well, I don't know. Screw him.
To be fair, though, folks, and I'm only going to say this once. Based on the card of Forbbiden Door, you could definitely say that Jesse was titillated. Anyway, that's the only time I will ever say that.
Yeah,
and we're going to move on. We're going to start with it. Jesse, Forbbiden Door happened?
Yeah.
Your first impressions before we go through the card.
So before we go through the card, I actually thought overall, good show. Really good show.
Yeah.
You know, in AEW,
you got to give him a slight pass because of the injury bug. This is clearly not the card they were trying to put together.
Kind of bit what they were trying to do kind of hard, but shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, I thought it was a good show. I'm going to get to my issues with the show.
Trust me, I've got some issues with the because again, I want to point this out. During that show, I posted on. Not on our Facebook, but on Facebook in the PWL. There's so many things egregiously wrong with this pay-per-view, and nobody sees it, and I will address that as soon as we get to it. But, yeah, the first and foremost, to just get this off, Jesse, before we get to the card, we might as well just get this over with, because I actually want to get to the good of this.
Sure.
Jesse, the internet didn't like my comment, but a little bit of a sloppy shop resurgence happened.
Yeah, a little bit.
Over 30 competitors were unable to attend due to COVID issues, and I make the sloppy shop comment, and the whole internet acts like I was the first person to use that damn line, even though AEW is the one that threw it out there.
Threw it out there towards WWE, of course, during COVID.
Who haven't had a reported COVID issue in, what, a year and a half?
Definitely about a year.
Yeah.
They have not. They've had,
but
they had other injuries besides the illness.
So they've had some COVID
scares.
Issues once or twice.
Yeah.
But after a week, the people have been back. So
yeah. But Jesse, my whole thing to you is to the smart AEW fans. Quick question, Jesse, because once again you've been made a profit almost on this show thanks to this company.
I really
Here's a question for you, oh wise one. If this was a WWE article, what would the responses have been?
Oh, they would have called them a terrible company. Can't control anything. This is why WWE is the worst professional wrestling company.
Meanwhile,
they don't care. Vince doesn't care about his wrestlers.
Meanwhile, AEW gets nothing but hearts and cares and hope everyone's safe. And it's like, guys, don't be hypocrites. Shut the fuck up.
I taught. By the way, we got 3 minutes in before that happened.
I don't care.
It'll be all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think 30. So I think the number was 29 exactly.
Yeah.
But it's still that's too many.
Yeah.
To send home on a day of an important go home show because they all might have come in contact with someone who tested positive for COVID at this juncture in the pandemic. Like at this juncture, and that still happened to your company.
Right.
No bueno.
My only thing about it is that if you're gonna give WWE shit, don't act like you're the freaking saint here.
Right.
Well, no shit.
Everyone has problems.
Right.
Can we at least be honest about
that?
Now we'll get to the card because, like Jesse said, wasn't a bad show.
I thought really good show besides a couple of issues.
Now, I want to say this. The quote-unquote future booking coming out of it and the week that has passed, we got a lot we got to talk about, but we're going to start with the pay-per-view. First was the buy-in.
So the first match on the card here is Bishiman, which is Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi of Chaos.
Yep.
Beat the Factories, Aaron Solo and QT Marshall.
Which you pretty much predicted because
Yeah.
you didn't know about the match until we went through the card.
And as soon as they announced it, I'm like, well, clearly this is going to start with New Japan getting a W.
Yeah.
Because who the fuck is QT anyway, besides a teacher? But otherwise, I thought good match. Fun match.
Well, Yoshi's going to put on something.
Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi are just two of the best pro wrestlers on the planet.
Yeah.
So, good match overall. And I really like young Aaron Solo.
Yeah.
I think he's got a future in pro wrestling. I just hope it's not with AEW because I don't know what that looks like for him.
It'll be with AEW if he leaves, works 3 years on Vince's television, and then gets fired.
MJF will become a prophet at that point.
He became a prophet during the Zack Sabre match, but we'll get to that later. Because Tony, you like why do you keep making wrestlers that talk shit about you correct so soon after?
Yeah, it doesn't take long, does it?
It really doesn't.
So next match on the card is
It's
Lance.
cocaine. It's damn cocaine.
Yeah, that crack cocaine.
It's
That boogie
white.
sugar. The white girl. Lance Archer beating Nick Camarado. Basically, it was a squash match. Nick did get some offense in.
The sad part about it is this is the best Lance Archer's looked in AEW since he got there.
I would think he would let his contract expire because I would think he's pretty
if
frustrated.
Jake has come out and said something,
Right.
who's clearly a close confidant of
Right.
yours, if they're booking you back in the G1, which Jesse, no one gets buried in the G1.
No.
Everybody gets a good showing.
Right.
Everyone's like, what about Yano? He's supposed to. That's literally why
Here's
he's
the
there.
thing: he's supposed to lose, but he's gonna entertain. you
Yes,
while doing so.
exactly.
Damn right.
So the next match, which was one of the first kind of stealers of the night,
Yeah.
was Swerve in Our City, Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland,
Yeah.
beating Suzuki Goon's El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru.
Well, but you predicted this as well because, like you
Right.
said, Kanemaru and Desperado are pretty much there to take losses.
they take losses in New Japan a lot. It doesn't hurt them.
No.
They're great singles wrestlers as well. El Desperado was just a juniors champion in the last year and a half. So yeah.
We have to turn the air on a little bit here, folks.
It's okay.
Yeah, put
It's
on
okay.
low. I was wondering, like, you turn the damn thing on.
I'm working on it.
Put on, you can put on low. You can put on high.
I thought this was a great match.
Low is the first one. The bottom one's high.
I feel so. I'm so frustrated when it comes to Keith Lee and Swerve because they deserve so much better.
Well, is this finally the upward trajectory that we were hoping for? Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. The
Then
match
we'll
was
see.
great though.
Are we okay? And the buy-in was 3, right?
4.
It was 4. Oh, okay.
And then the other match was Max Caster and the Ass Boys, or Gun Club. Billy Gunn, Austin Gunn, Colton Gunn.
By the way, I found
Let's
this
call
out.
them the Ass Boys.
By the way,
I
call them
mean,
the
By the way, I
Boys.
found this out after Jade's win on Dynamite, which we'll go into later. The best, the longest win streak in AEW is Colton Gunn.
Yeah.
really?
He went 35-0.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm like, and nobody decided to mention this on Dynamite.
No.
35-0. We're gonna mention
Right.
nothing.
They don't care.
Anyway, go on.
Was that all on Dark?
Yes.
Yeah. Dark and
Yes,
Dark.
pretty much
see,
Dark and
that's
Dark
why
Elevation.
that's why they didn't announce it.
Also Rampage. So every now and then they'll talk about
okay,
it on
all right,
Rampage.
yeah, all right.
You know,
So we made national TV just at 9 p.m. on a Friday night.
where
nobody watched.
like
Where-
300,000 people are watching.
Yeah.
So they do the same numbers as the YouTube shows.
Yeah.
It was an okay match. They beat Yuya Uemura.
Yep.
And the rest of the New Japan LA Dojo, Alex Coughlin, the DKC, and Kevin Knight.
Well, the buy-in was a lot of just kind of giving the dojo guys some real work,
Right.
basically.
And
is
by
what
the way,
buy-in
New
was for.
Japan does this a lot as far as their booking of usually their card will always start. You keep it on. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
not interrupting anything.
No, yeah.
They let the dojos kind of start.
Yeah.
Usually, those guys are going to lose to the bigger stars when they have those matches.
And let's be honest. This could not have been any worse than, hey, you're a young boy. We're gonna feed you to Suzuki.
You would rather lose to the Ass Boys than get fed to Suzuki because he kind of abuses them in those matches.
Part of getting out of the dojo is you got to have a match with Suzuki.
You know what's messed up about Minoru Suzuki? And by the way, I'm going to get to the rest of the card here in a second. Is he posts on Instagram a lot? For those who don't know, he actually has his own Instagram.
Yeah.
Suzuki-gun. And he looks like the loveliest man on the planet until he's in a ring.
Yeah.
Wearing hats, taking photos with fans, and just big old smiles. He's like, Man, that Minoru seems like a nice. Oh God, I just saw him strike someone. Never mind. Never mind. So, first match of the night. Speaking of, Minoru Suzuki and the Sex Gods, Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara.
Boy, they brought that tag team back real quick.
Right. I thought that he wasn't going back to Jericho. Isn't that what everyone said?
That was a thing. Yeah,
he left the Inner Circle until they got their problems worked out. Well, they did. They just had to change their name and become the Backstreet Boys Light
and get a tag team that doesn't matter if they win or lose. And so
we're calling the Backstreet Boys Light.
No. It goes Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, 98 Degrees, everyone else, and then the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Everyone else, 6 feet of crap,
and then the Jericho
Appreciation Society.
Yeah.
So because of Minoru Suzuki, they beat Eddie Kingston,
match.
Shota Umino, and Wheeler. So Eddie Kingston learned a valuable lesson on this night.
Yeah, yes.
Don't mess with him.
Don't fuck with Minoru Suzuki. So he tried to get into a brawl with this man.
He did, yeah.
I did see clips of him hitting him, and he was like, and then I was like, oh, you shouldn't have done that.
And Minoru ate it.
Yes.
That's in New Japan. If you don't watch, which by the way, Eddie, this is why you should watch.
Yeah.
When he's eating your hits, he's about to get you with a shot, and he hit him with a forearm shot that I think Eddie's mom tasted.
I think his grandma probably tasted that one.
Like he literally,
oh my God.
Minoru quieted the Chicago crowd. And by the way, big ups, you guys sold out just like WWE did. Good job.
Yeah.
And because, hey, what do we say? Chicago is a city that just loves pro wrestling.
They do.
Chicago, Dallas, New York love pro wrestling.
Yep.
LA will go if there's nothing else going on.
Yeah.
So,
but there's nothing going on in Chicago
besides pro wrestling.
Yeah.
So he shushed the crowd, and Eddie's talking shit, and he laughs, and you just hear, and Eddie goes down like a sack of potatoes, and I'm like, see. This is why you should shut up.
This is why you don't do that.
I did see that, and all I could say was, ow. I would not. Oh, that would.
I think the best internet response I've seen was Bubba Ray, who literally, he commented right after it happened. He went, yeah, see, sometimes this is the learning of the East Coast. Shut the fuck up. There's just certain guys, including especially Japanese wrestlers, just shut up.
Yep.
When Kurt Angle warns you about a guy, like he tried to warn people about Minoru Suzuki, shut up.
I think if I would have taken that shot, I probably would have woke up 10 minutes ago before the show.
Probably.
Yeah, you would have. Yeah. Just be waking up now.
Yeah. I believe
No.
I don't think I would have made. They would have been praying for me.
I don't know if the Lord would have been able to wake you from that nap.
No.
Maybe not. Oh my.
No.
God.
I will give them this.
Whatever God Suzuki believes in is like, you stay down there a few more years.
Yes.
Hey, listen. Just take your week of a nap, and I'm gonna wake you up.
Yeah.
I think you need to learn this lesson.
Yeah.
This was a good match.
It wasn't bad.
Shota is an amazing wrestler. He got a lot of shine in this match.
Yeah.
I love watching Shota. And Wheeler Yuta has become one of the best young technical wrestlers in the game. Really proud of his progress as a young pro wrestler. So, good match overall. Of course, it gave at least, the Jericho Appreciation Society the advantage for Blood and Guts, which we'll get to later on. Next match, FTR are now triple champions.
They are.
They beat United Empire, which is Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb.
Yep. Who at the time were the IWGP
Heavyweight Tag Team
Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Yep.
And they beat Roppongi Vice, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta.
Yep.
And now FTR hold the ROH World Tag Team Championships, the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championships.
Yep.
And the AAA.
Yep.
Heavyweight Tag Team Championships.
Yep.
These guys have just been on a tear the last year and
a
half.
I've said, arguably in the last 5 years, they're already maybe a top 10 tag team of all time. I mean, you have to put them in there.
Right.
I mean,
the only thing they're missing is Edge. Just like as for a de facto faction, because I think it would work. But yeah, no, they've been wonderful.
Yeah. They've proven they can work any style with anyone, go anywhere. They're over.
And here's the thing.
And they got themselves over because Tony certainly wasn't doing it.
Right. And here's the thing. They also, just to kind of add on to the whole like work with anyone, like they've been to like independent shows to work with independent wrestlers.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome. So
they're the best tag team in the world. They're arguably two of the best workers overall in wrestling.
And I've really garnered a lot of respect for these two boys.
Yeah.
I think I remember I called them winning.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
You did.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm good sometimes.
I wasn't certain. So I think
I think so, but I saw reports they were thinking that they actually were going to have the Bucks in that and for them to win.
Jesse just responds with who?
Yeah.
I don't know who those two. I don't know who you're talking
this
about.
dumb other tag team that thinks they deserve this title. And
who will probably be taking all 4 championships off at some point. It's gonna happen, folks. Sorry.
I don't they're on the works. They're gonna have FTR and them. Another They
literally made a meme after the match where it's that wonderful picture in black and white of Cash and Dax, looking at the championships in the gorilla position.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody literally captioned it, Cash telling Dax, dude, the Bucks are just going to take these, so don't get used to them.
I don't know who you guys are talking about. Next match, which was probably the better of the 2 Fatal 4-Ways, but we'll get to the other one.
Yeah.
Pac is now their first ever AEW All-Atlantic champion.
It took them 3 years.
You know what, though?
Give him a title.
To be fair to AEW, every fucking American company has gotten Pac wrong.
Well, every world company, other than, as you pointed out earlier, the second best
Japanese promotion has gotten Pac wrong.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense to me.
The whole world can't figure out Pac.
The guy's one of the best speakers, definitely one of the best wrestlers, has a great look to him. I mean, I think you guys' boy Jim Cornette spoke highly of him a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I know he's a bit smaller in stature, but the dude can do it all.
Yeah.
Oh, he can. Yeah.
And this is the first time someone's kind of like getting it right.
Dragon's
weird.
Gate gave him a fairly long undefeated streak for a while when he first went back, but that's been arguably the best thing that he's had since he left WWE.
Because his booking in AEW has been up and down as fuck. So
yeah.
But Clark Connors, Miro, Malachi Black. Like I said, this might have been the better. This to me was the better of the 2 Fatal 4-Ways.
During this match, everywhere I went, they couldn't stop raving about your guy Clark Connors.
I tell people, he's got Chris Benoit's future without having Chris Benoit's mental issues. Because we live in a day and age where they're very careful about head, especially in Japan. They're very careful about head injuries.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he has a very bright pro wrestling future. I love Clark Connors.
A lot of people were like, who is this guy? How have we not heard of this guy? And Jesse just responds with, you got to watch New Japan.
Guys, get New Japan strong. Go ahead.
And I did see that either he has or Pac is very soon is going to defend that title at a local show.
Yeah.
Rev Pro.
What's that?
Rev Pro.
It is? Okay, yeah, I did see that. I'm not sure if that happened or is it going to happen soon.
It hasn't happened yet.
Okay, yeah, I did see that.
Of
so
course.
That'd be sweet.
So it's a rumor. It is a rumor. It is a rumor. Let me preface this one more time, guys. This is a rumor. Apparently, Tony did reach out about Pac returning to WWE to also defend this championship. So, listen, apparently the two companies have been talking more and more, especially now that Triple H has been back.
Yeah.
I gotta tell people these have all been rumors besides the actual phone calls.
Yeah.
We will see what the next year brings. Even though he's high out of his fucking mind, and we'll get to his pressers.
Oh, that scrum was for the ages, folks.
Oh, yeah.
And I watched the whole thing.
I think
Jesse watched the show. I watched the scrum.
Right. I think even Tony Khan understands open door policy, even with the guy you're trying to compete with.
Yeah,
is gonna be best for everybody.
And what's really sad is what's gonna happen to all the AEW marks when it happens. Like, you sold out. No, he did business. Shut up.
He did smart business.
Yes.
If they want AEW to still be around, he's got to.
Yeah, because despite the blood and guts ratings, which were again your first million in like 2 months,
3 months, I think.
It's been a while.
Yeah, they did 1.23, which is great. But you had to do a pay-per-view style fucking Dynamite to do it.
Which I sat through the whole thing, and I got a lot to say about that. But anyway.
Thankfully, I watched it on replay. Greatest thing ever.
I watched it live. So.
I love watching
replay.
Is
great because instead of 2 hours, it's like an hour and a half.
Allison had
and you could fast forward through the bull crap.
Allison had D&D, and yet I think I watched the most role play thing that happens. The most fictional shit happened on what I was doing, not what she was doing. But all right.
And then next match is Dudes with Attitudes, which is the worst tag team name ever. Darby Allin, Sting, and Shingo Takagi, former IWGP
Is Sting
champion.
trying to die on camera?
Oh, we're gonna get to that. Hold on. They beat Bullet Club.
Maybe.
So and they beat El Phantasmo and two guys I've never heard of, with Hikuleo. So
yeah.
I think the two guys I've never heard of are AEW Tag Team Champions as well. I don't know.
I think they just won.
They also might be virgins. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know these things.
Yep. No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm not well versed in these things.
Right.
They're just some idiots from California.
I'm pretty sure somebody's told me before they also go to Christian churches, but I'm sure your church will not welcome two idiots in. Maybe it's open policy until they show they're idiots.
We welcome everybody with love, even idiots.
Okay. Well, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
But notice the qualifier. We welcome you. How long you stay, that's up to you.
We might ask them to leave. We will welcome them in.
Politely.
Say, you got to go.
Politely, they'll ask
I hope you enjoyed the coffee.
It was a good match.
Yeah.
Let's get to Sting.
Is Sting trying to die? He's 63.
What?
His neck is still bad.
I didn't see it. What did he do?
So Sting was announced. He did not show up.
Okay.
The two guys Jesse has never heard of, according to my sources, they're called the Bucks, so there might be some Milwaukee thing. I don't actually know.
Maybe they're from Milwaukee.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. No, we would not accept those.
They come out
here.
with El Phantasmo.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And Sting is still nowhere to be found. So the lights go out. Again, Tony, your dad can't help you pay the electric bill. Is that the one thing Daddy's asking you to pay on your own? Because you're not doing a very good job of it. And all of a sudden, he's on top of the stage where the tunnels are. And then takes flight looking like a flying squirrel.
The tunnels where they come in?
Yes.
He was on top of those?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, my God.
And then he decided to jump on top of these guys who again, we'll have the research department figure out if it's Milwaukee. But, I mean, Bucks sounds like, Milwaukee.
Yeah, no, I kind of live in Wisconsin, and, yeah, no.
Okay.
Well, you guys have the Milwaukee Bucks, so I mean,
I know, but these guys aren't even qualified to even wear their shoes, okay?
We'll have to look at where they're from.
They're not, no.
I don't know.
We'll try to get it by the end of the show.
Right.
And they have to be more manly to be from Wisconsin,
hold on.
too.
Well, let me rephrase that.
Okay.
Just cut this in.
Okay.
Someone just edit this in. We'll try to check by the end of the show. This is the last episode. Anyway.
Officially.
But anyway, so yeah, I don't know what's going on, but clearly WWE did not want to do this for reasons. And for some reason, Steve is Steve finally now, 30 years later, after the big run, trying to prove the wrestling thing? I mean, even Goldberg gave up on trying to prove the wrestling thing. His new autobiography, the commercial for it, literally says, I'm still an outsider, and his name is Goldberg, and whether you like his performance or not, he's one of the biggest names in the history of the business.
He also couldn't wrestle for fucking shit.
There's that.
I'm guessing maybe did Sting watch by a table that Tony was sitting at and goes, what's this stuff here? Maybe he did that, and
you wouldn't be able to tell because of the makeup. Anyway,
that's true.
I thought Steve was past his drug issues, so maybe being around Tony hasn't helped.
Probably.
This was stupid.
Maybe he took some or drank something that Tony had his lips on and his nose.
Let's make this very clear. None of us are doctors. That's fine.
Yeah.
But if doctors have told you, be careful, because one more severe bump to this neck could paralyze you for the rest of your life, and people are still allowing you to do shit like this,
you need better friends.
Yeah.
You need better friends, Tony.
Your boss doesn't give a shit.
No.
I
also want to point something out. Your fucking biggest name in your company, arguably when you started, literally just said, I get one more injury, I'm done with wrestling.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega literally came out and said, I am not doing the rehab again. Well, Kenny, first of all, if you get hurt again, it won't be 4 separate injuries you have to recover from.
It'll just be
that to
one.
himself.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I get what he was trying to do. He was trying to do the whole one of the great Japanese wrestlers.
Masawa?
No. The one who had all the titles.
Oh, Ultimo.
Thank you.
Ultimo Dragon.
But yeah, he was trying to kind of be like him and do a little bit of something more in this day and age.
Yeah.
And yet you cause yourself a ton of issues.
Yeah.
Now, if he doesn't come back, that sucks. I still have my New Japan footage.
Yeah.
I can go watch it back.
Yeah.
And I can still go appreciate what he was. But
yeah.
the fact he gets to America.
Do me a favor because they did a really bad job of it on Dynamite. Before you go, please plug New Japan Strong one time, please.
So, once again, New Japan is only $9.99 a month. You get all their shows, including big pay-per-views.
Some of the guys had problems signing up because I guess they were outside the region or something.
So if you ever have issues with the sign-up with your card, you
Yeah.
can also use PayPal.
Okay.
And then it doesn't matter where you are. Trust me, they'll take the PayPal money.
Okay.
The Yakuza wants your money. So,
Yes.
And
They're
it's
so good, yes. We take your money. We take your money,
we take
American.
your money immediately.
Foolish American.
And it comes on every night at the same time as Rampage, so 9 o'clock. But it's on for about an hour and 10 minutes, and you can usually catch the replay half an hour after.
Okay, yeah.
It's great TV. There's besides New Japan's own commercials.
Yeah.
There's no commercials.
Okay, yeah.
By the way, trust me, you want to see New Japan's commercials because if you think you hate some of the stuff WWE does, wait till you see what New Japan does with their commercials.
I'm sure most of them are just Great O'Khan.
45-year-old Tanahashi around a 27-year-old woman trying to look super sexy is so odd. I'm Ace. And it's just like, dude, this comes off a little creepy, but I still love you.
Yes.
She's like wrapped in all of his merchandise all sexily. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? But yeah.
So you're telling me that Lillian and Alexa Bliss weren't as bad as some of the
Not
stuff?
even close.
Okay.
To the New Japan commercials.
All right.
And by the way, we'll get to that commercial from last night. I understand why Vegas booed that. All right, next match.
Yep.
The match that really didn't need to be on this show. You could have just did this at Blood and Guts.
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa
Yeah.
beat Tony Storm in the worst match of the night.
Do we want to talk about the underlying story now or before the media scrum?
I want to talk about the match real quick.
Okay.
Sloppy.
Yep.
It was almost like these two had no chemistry, which makes no sense.
Yep.
They're two high caliber wrestlers.
Yep.
You got to have better. And by the way, this is going to come up again as well, unfortunately, for a couple of women in WWE later.
Oh, yeah.
And in this ending, what the fuck was this ending?
I don't know.
Like, this match was they accidentally did not realize they put a shit break in their card, but this was it. And it was the only women's match of the night.
It was the only all AEW match.
There we go.
You know how we talked about... So, we went to lunch today.
We did.
Fuck it, we're going to do this now. We went to lunch today, and one of the things we were talking about was Wrestle Inc. also brought up, the current world of Roe v. Wade, and Tony Khan decided he does not want to answer those questions. Well, you guys, you want to know why I'm not shocked? He didn't even give a shit about his own women's division.
Nope.
Like, this is it?
Yep. This was the showcase in front of the world with all the New Japan stars. And we'll get to the buys later because while this was a good, buy, it wasn't even top 7.
It wasn't top 5.
Yeah, no, it was not
and
a top 5
he was boasting how good it was.
Well, Tony boasts about every show getting better and better,
Yes.
and you realize, dude, no.
But you know what? To be fair, man, I did cocaine once in the early 2010s. It makes you feel really good.
I bet it does.
About the most small shit in the world. So
I've heard that.
the Booger Sugar, the White Girl, the Jamaican Bacon makes you feel incredible for no good reason.
So he's maybe that makes him feel better because he's not really big and he thinks he's big and
maybe
it's that.
Maybe
Yeah.
it makes it feel
Oh,
important.
you didn't see the media scrum. I've never seen. I always wondered I always wonder what a traditional Jew fro and a black African fro would look like
Yeah, it's
together.
that.
I now know what it would look
It's
like.
that.
And it's not good.
No, it's not at all.
It's not good.
He's a hugger.
Well, we'll get to that.
Next match.
We'll get to that. We have to get to that.
Holy shit.
I watched the whole thing, and trust me, if y'all thought the pictures were bad, live was worse.
I'm sure live was worse. Will Ospreay.
Yep.
Beat.
Hold on. Since we already got into it, before we get to this, Jesse, Tony Storm would have been SmackDown Women's Champion by now.
Within a couple of weeks of whatever feud.
Yep.
And I just wanted to point that out. But yet, I'm supposed to believe that what's happened in AEW isn't the same shit you thought was happening in WWE. The only difference is there have been less segments where she's been allowed to talk.
That's true.
That's the only difference. She's still getting booked strong in the ring. Her opponent's getting kind of up and down booking. Charlotte was up and down in the ring at the time.
Right.
And yet, folks, the other thing that needs to be mentioned, because Tony, I advocated for you when you first left. What did you do? You went home for like 2 weeks, which Vince probably would have given you anyway. Mm-hmm. And now you've come back and you're working in Florida all the time.
Really?
And that's farther than WWE had you consistently from your home. Your whole I wanted to go home thing is getting thrown out the window because you're still in America. You're still working for an American company.
She also talked about how it was a toxic environment. And maybe she feels that way, and that's fine.
Yeah.
It's her life. It's her call.
But the problem is, and this is something that we'll get to later on, maybe not this week, but it has to come up. Actually, we'll get to it at some point. Of course it's not toxic. Everyone there have been friends for years, and nobody's trying to get better. They're just like, I'm already where I want to be. I'm just now getting paid too much for it.
Right.
Which we'll get to in a little bit because we have a topic that fits into that, but it's WWE one we'll do later. All right, now on to the match that everyone on the internet thought was not what they thought because they were like, maybe Gato would like Orange Cassidy to be one of their top champions, and we were all like, yeah.
People actually thought he'd win.
Ask Jesse. He was there with me. A lot of people actually were like, well, I think Orange Cassidy would have made it good. No.
By the way, it's a title that Tony's boyfriend still hasn't given back. So Will Ospreay doesn't even have the fucking championship.
Yeah.
So he has it now.
Yes.
So he got it this week because they went and found him, and then they beat him up in the locker room. Will Ospreay and Aussie Open beat him up in the locker room.
Yep.
Will Ospreay in a great match, by the way. Excellent.
For those of you wondering, that was Juice Robinson.
Yes.
Because you said Tony's boy, and we got two Tonys that we're talking about.
I was talking about Tony Storm.
Yeah, exactly.
Her fiance.
Yeah. Aussie Open went and got that shit back.
Right.
You know what's funny? They're called Aussie Open. They made Juice look like a tennis ball.
They bounced his ass around a little bit. I think he probably thought he was in a match with John Moxley because he was getting bounced around.
A little bit.
By the way, welcome to Bullet Club. That's what you get. You talk some shit, and then they weren't behind you, and they let you get your ass whooped.
Yeah. You think the King was going to dirty his sullied hands on that? No, that's
he disrespects Will Ospreay all the time. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, right.
Will Ospreay in a great match.
The match was good,
Cassidy.
but now I would like to point this out to the people that keep getting on me like, okay, we get it. You don't like Orange Cassidy. I'm like, that's not the point anymore. You've been on TV for 3 years, and you are doing nothing to try to make yourself more of a mark. Because Tony's like, well, he's marketable to your fans. You know who Roman Reigns and Miz are marketable to? USA, Good Morning America. Need I go on with the morning shows that they could have done?
Right.
Like, can we finally stop saying I'm a hater and just be honest with what I'm trying to say? That, bro, we know you can go, so stop with whatever this shit is.
Like I said, the gimmick would work better if the booking was better.
Well, yeah, but Tony's not going to pay attention long enough.
Because the gimmick actually isn't the worst thing in the world. It's actually very fun. It's very family friendly.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. It's very WWE.
Yeah, no, it is. But remember, as we said on an earlier topic, if WWE did this, you'd be like, why the fuck are we doing this?
People might boo it out of the fucking, yeah.
Right, but even
then
though
they would change it.
They would tell him, like, we're going to have to switch this up a little bit.
You need to evolve. You need to
But
better
because
yourself.
every one of these fans just wants to see their favorite wrestler that they've met at a bar, which, again, I'm not against the wrestlers. But look, I've been with you guys. Right. I've met plenty of wrestlers. I love these guys.
Right.
But here's the deal. I want to see them get better, and I don't care if they move on to bigger and better things.
Right.
But just because I've met them doesn't mean that I want them to stay the exact same forever. Like this is your career. You got to make money at this. I get it. So if you all of a sudden get too big time and you're no longer at meet and greets, I ain't mad about it.
Right.
Because you know what, Jesse? Who goes to meet and greets a lot? It's the band members, but the lead singer probably isn't at meet and greets a lot when it comes to music because, sadly, they've got to do a lot of vocal warm-ups.
It also depends on the band because sometimes they ain't there either.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
one guy will show up for the band.
Right.
One guy will show up for the band.
And it's usually the least popular guy.
And we've been to a lot of shows with Heavy and MAW, and we've seen a lot of the same people. But from when I've been, they don't do all the same things. They have elements in there, every single one, but I see them better. I mean,
I
Rampage.
like the in-ring ability of Orange Cassidy. I've never denied that on this show.
I actually think he's become sensational in the ring.
He has, and he put on a great match with Will. But I said before they had the match, the in-ring will be fine.
Right.
Gato probably likes what he does in-ring, but Gato is not bringing that shit over here as it. Well, no, Jesse. No, okay, sorry, Leroy. At lunch, Jesse clarified. Yeah. He'd bring him over, but you're working with Yano for 6 weeks. You're not being a major champion.
No,
it's not happening.
With this gimmick, no, you won't be.
No, like I said, you think a company that's partially owned by the Yakuza looks at Orange Cassidy and thinks that's going to be a serious champion? No, it's not happening.
By the way, it's kind of messed up. You almost unfortunately have to think of New Japan partially in that way because some of the former owners were part of the Yakuza, so you have to just and they're mostly gone, but they're still somewhat there. They for a long time were the primary financiers.
Yes.
Next match, the debut of Claudio Castagnoli, formerly known as Cesaro, beat Zack Sabre Jr.
The worst kept secret in wrestling when it finally happened because you were just like, all right.
Well, I figured it's one of three people.
Yep.
And he was one of them.
Yep.
Beat Zack Sabre Jr.
In a hell of a match.
It's just classic.
It was good.
It was but I mean, no one ever said that Cesaro wasn't a great pro wrestler and a great personality.
No.
And I think even WWE believed in him enough where they had a program with him.
Well, but I hate to tell people, and after Blood and Guts, I'm going to explain why. Folks, he's going to be doing the same style booking because even Tony Khan,
he'll just get longer matches.
Exactly. Tony Khan can't deny that if you're going to give a world title to someone, they have to have a next level, which I'm sorry Claudio has yet to show us in all the years of ROH, in all the years of WWE, and so far you're the same guy that when you left the Indies. I'm not hating on Claudio here. I'm not. But for God's sakes, folks, it's like the Orange Cassidy thing. You want to be the guy? Who have been the guys in wrestling? Whether Jesse likes it or not, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Ric Flair. I could go on. You know who didn't? Some of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Bobby Eaton was never a world champion. Even though Bobby was great, he lacked something to be a singles star.
Sure.
And Bobby was one of the best in-ring guys you ever saw. Bobby Eaton worked with everybody because he worked with everybody.
Right.
It was that simple.
Right.
But there's something about Claudio that, and I swear they said this either on Dynamite or they said it at Forbbiden Door. He looks like a create a character in a video game. That's not good.
Yeah.
That's not what you want.
Well,
because then you just come out looking like Vacant, who, by the way, if we're talking shoot for a second,
is the greatest pro wrestler of all time.
Yes.
Yeah.
His resume speaks for itself. But he has an element to himself. He's always a surprise.
I mean, he's a super Hall of Famer.
He really is. But just, guys, in 6 months. And by the way, I said this as soon as he debuted. Excuse me. I sip my tea here. Soon as Brian, soon as Brian Danielson's healthy, you become the 4th most popular person in the BCC. Moving on.
That is so true.
Where am I wrong?
You're not. You're not.
I don't know.
Maybe 3rd because they'll put you above Yuta.
I was going to say you'll be above Yuta for sure.
But you know what that comment.
But he's going above Jon Moxley?
No.
He's going above William Regal?
No.
He's going above the American Dragon?
No.
You're the 4th most popular guy in the Blackpool Combat Club.
To be honest, Brian is probably more popular than John.
Yeah. But John is the interim world champion.
John
and you have a 50-50 bet that he might actually beat Punk.
He might actually become permanent. But John is also a former member of the Shield. They have all done insanely well for themselves. They were all generational talents.
The one tweet that Moxley's more over than Reigns and Seth right now.
That was a bit far.
I saw that.
A bit?
I'm like,
a bit?
No.
I'm sorry. John Moxley is the world champion, and Dynamite barely does $1 million. Roman Reigns decides not to come on the show. There's a 400,000 person swing below $2 million. He's on the show. They average $2 million.
And John's a world
and he doesn't even wrestle.
No. Seth isn't the champion, but Seth is above John. Even as John
when we get to Money in the Bank, which was great last night, by the way, to quote everyone who got mad at the ending, Seth didn't need it.
No.
Seth really doesn't need this right now.
I think everyone had hopes that WrestleMania 31 was going to replay itself.
No, and I get that. But anyway,
still could.
Claudio is going to be the fourth most popular person in a 5-person group. As soon as Bryan Danielson's healthy, book it.
Next match.
And you're going to get all that hate for that. You know that.
Right.
Oh, yeah, no, totally.
I love it. Screw you all.
Jay White.
I'm 30 years old. I ain't got time to worry about what people
retained his IWGP World.
Who am I? Kevin Durant?
I retained his. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep
that
in there.
You are better than him.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep that in there. I don't care.
Clip that.
Jay White retained against Hangman Adam Page.
All right. We discussed this. Jesse said
Adam Cole.
Hold on. We discussed this.
In the most over man in pro wrestling outside of Roman. The most electric man in pro wrestling.
This is
the great rich man of pro wrestling just got married to one of the hottest female Japanese wrestlers on the planet. The Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada.
We were going back and forth. Because Jesse was like, "Are you cool if I do like a huge intro for Okada?" I'm like, "I don't think I'll be able to stop you."
Seeing him walk out. You see, I didn't get to see Flair in his heyday. It has been an honor to watch Kazuchika Okada in his heyday. He is.
Yeah, I saw Flair 20 feet away from me in a ring. And
this match, however,
oh my God.
This match, however,
how you feel.
did not end in glory. It ended.
Unfortunately.
No, let me get this line out. Unfortunately, this match did not end with glory. It ended on AEW Botch's Twitter. But
and I was wrong. The wrong Adam.
I should have made that bet because guess what? I chose Cole. He chose Page.
Yeah, I told you. I told him you guys should bet on that because I'm telling you.
He wasn't on your side though. He was trying to get your money.
I know.
All right, you would have been $5 richer.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could have got a couple pops from that one.
Because if you would have been right, I would have shit my pants to see them actually pin.
Well, you would have cleaned yourself up, man.
Well, for sure, because Hangman doesn't take losses unless they're in big matches. So
yeah. But Cole is clearly just disposable to them.
Well, he was.
I know that he got hurt. I know there was an issue there, and I know that they probably went straight to the. But no, this is the part Jesse and I discussed. Even though the match ended prematurely, I still think this was the ending, no matter what.
Let me say this.
Well,
3 things.
If he got hurt, that's good. They did the right thing.
Well, no. I agree.
Right.
I agree. Yeah. But my point is, and Jesse will get to in a second.
And guys, what Leroy means by that, if he's hurt, then just finish the match.
Go to the finish.
His health is more important.
Yes.
But what I'm trying to say is that this would have been the finish, health or no health. Go ahead, Jesse.
So 3 things. One, the rumor is the 2 injuries are a lot more serious than people realize.
The concussion is getting bad.
It's the concussion and the leg.
Did he had an injury coming into the match?
He did,
right.
yes.
Oh, sorry, the concussion in the back.
Was it a leg or a back injury that he was coming in with?
I think it's technically a lower back injury. Yeah,
that's what he was coming in with.
Which has gotten worse now.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And now what could be a higher grade concussion. So number 1, I hope you get healthy. That's number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2, are you sure you just didn't want to cut your hair? I mean, hair grows back.
I know.
How many more times are we going to say this in the show before somebody comes back at us with an actual response? Because nobody has so far.
No,
you'd have been world champion. You would have been around Roman Reigns at this point.
Yeah.
You know. And number 3.
The top one controls how cool it is.
I know.
Okay.
More important, number 3. Are you sure you just didn't want to tell your wife, hey, when your contract's starting to run up, come on over? Like there's a little bit
she
of
signed a 18-month extension. That's all it is.
Right.
It was a year and a half.
Right.
That was it.
So I'm guessing that his concussion was a higher grade and more severe than Rhea's.
They are
That's
not,
the rumor. They're not kind of disclosing what's going on.
No one's confirmed anything, but every single report, and remember, where there's smoke, there's fire. No one has come out with good news. Not even Dave.
Right.
And Dave sugarcoats everything they do.
Yeah.
Well, even so, he reported the night after. He said, as the rumors were swirling, I went to go try to check my sources, and Dave almost kind of confirmed those sources where it was like it's what I'm hearing is not good.
No.
Okay.
Like he's going to be gone a long while.
Was it from a bad spot that it happened, or it was just a normal?
No one has been able to pinpoint, and maybe they have now, but from the moment Jesse and I met up to now, as we're recording, I have yet to see anything that confirms where it happened.
Right.
Everyone finally figured out where Rhea got hurt. Rhea, thankfully, is okay.
She is okay.
Yeah.
They're just being cautious.
Oh,
but
sure, she'll be back after SummerSlam.
Right, but no one's been able to pinpoint what happened to Adam.
Right.
But my point stands is that I want to be clear to all the AEW people, because like I said, there were things going on that were egregious that nobody wants to talk about. This, in my opinion, was the finish to begin with, and here's why. Like Jesse said, who's been with the Elite since day one of AEW? It's been Hangman. He doesn't take losses unless they're big. He's also a former world champion. Cole is not.
Correct.
Sorry, folks. That's the cold, hard
correct.
facts. And what was Gato not going to let happen? Okada was not getting pinned in America the first time he showed up.
No.
That was not happening.
No.
It was going to be one of the Adams
Right.
boys. And I'm sorry, but Hangman, based on the way that they have booked the Elite, Cole, you left. Now, you left for greener pastures and for some reason came back to a shithole, but that's your own personal choice. But you left. You were the odd guy out. You've been the odd guy out from the moment you walked in. Actually, you've been the odd guy out since they decided, that pop wasn't big enough. Give him Bryan Danielson. And you know what? If that had happened, I would have walked back there. I'm not joking. If I had the clout that Adam Cole did, I'm not joking. If I actually did that, but I cared about my career, I would have looked Tony Khan in the face and said, okay, that's not fucking happening again, or I'm the fuck out of here. Fire me on the goddamn spot, but I'm out of here if that happens again. No fucking way I'm the second biggest debut in the fucking 35 seconds that I was out there. Fuck you, Tony Khan. And I would have done it. I would have looked at him and said, bro, I know that WWE and I just left terms, but if I come back and say, hey, I'm willing to give it a shot, they're not going to say no.
Well, now they probably won't cut his hair.
Yeah, because
Probably
they saw
not.
the debut. But my point is that no.
They're like, you know what? You ain't got to cut your hair. You can keep the last name. We'll just put you on Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing about it was like I said, if I had any care about my career and I knew I was a star, I would have gone to Tony Khan and be like, what the fuck was that? No. You've been dead on arrival from the moment Bryan Danielson's music hit. You have been. End of conversation. I'm not talking about that anymore. I still want to. No, but to the fans, yes, good on Jay White to go into the finish. But this was the finish all along. I don't care what the match was in the end because this was going to be the result. And you want to tell me that Adam Cole is still over? He's done nothing except win a tournament that we've already cleared and we're not going to talk about. If Jesse won't talk about those boys from, I think, Milwaukee, still got to research it. Someone in the truck do this work for me.
Yeah, we're going to have to research
But anyway, if Jesse won't talk about...
I got the boy on it.
All right, sounds good.
Eben's really good at Googling.
Okay, great. If Jesse won't talk about them, I'm no longer talking about this pandering tournament. Because that's all it was.
That's all it was.
That's all it was, guys.
Well,
he gave his wife the Hall of Fame speech that, sadly, again, she won't let happen.
Yep.
I get the bitter... I get it. I'm not here to get on Martha. I'm not. But it was the Hall of Fame speech that she didn't want to give in WWE. That's all it was.
Well, I'm glad.
So sad.
I'm glad because Adam got hurt that they finished right away because from prior experiences with AEW,
I mean, to be
they don't
fair,
like to finish things right away.
This was the longest match on the card. This was 21 minutes. So
That's because Gato said if this isn't the longest match on the card, y'all motherfuckers ain't doing this Forbidden Door again.
You will never get Kazuchika and Jay White again. First of all, now that we're done with Adam Cole, please get better, baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kazuchika Okada is a fucking superstar, man. Oh my god.
He is so over in wrestling. It's not even funny.
Like I said, it's the one time since Daniel Bryan appeared, I popped loud. Was when his music hit the Wednesday before, and because I was like, no fucking way are those coin drops. And then he came out and he gave like the little look, and I'm like, no, because what did I say? I'm like, if WWE is able to get the deal where they can do something with Kazuchika, and he comes out on SmackDown, it will hit 3 million. Because people are going to be like, no, he's in the same ring as Roman Reigns. Are you fucking kidding me?
But I want to point something out. WWE would be smart about it because this is the part that we didn't talk about before Forbbiden Door. I thought Turner said no more surprises. Why wasn't... Can you imagine what the rating would have been? It might not have actually been shit like it was had you told the world that Okada was going to be on the show. Because at the time, no one really knew what he was going to do, Jesse.
Well, there was a thought maybe he wasn't even going to be a part of the show.
But that's my point. If you just say Kazuchika Okada will be on Dynamite, people are going to watch the whole 2 hours waiting for Okada.
They literally made up their mind about what kind of match was going to be that day of that Dynamite.
Right.
They really didn't know what the fuck they were
But that's my whole point.
White.
Is just like WWE would have told you New Japan Superstar, and they would have made that in all caps.
Yeah.
Mega Superstar. Kazuchika Okada will be on SmackDown.
Well, they might have not even said his name. It's just a New Japan Mega Superstar will be here tonight. We just don't know which one.
And then everybody in their uncle would be calling each buddy.
Everyone would have ran rampant like, is it Naito? Is it going to be Kazuchika? Jerry White? And then when you would have heard the coin drops, it would be fucking pandemonium. And what's even better,
as Jim Cornette always says, throw the babies in the air.
Even better for WWE is then now you got ESPN reporting on this and NBC like, oh my God, a megastar from Japan just showed up on WWE television, and motherfuckers would have went crazy.
If that would Twitter and Facebook might crash with the comments and everything after that. Oh yeah.
But like I said, if that happens, don't hit me up because you'll hear a grown man cry. if Roman Reigns is cutting a promo and the coins drop, I'm going to cry. I'm not even going to know what Roman said because I'll be crying so hard.
You just have to replay and hopefully you won't cry as hard as the next replay.
He's so good. But Jay White retains. Jay White is the king.
Yes.
You'll have to talk about his awesome little promo after the show. And then, of course, the main event, Jon Moxley beat Hiroshi Tanahashi in a great match. These guys have chemistry.
We figured he would win. Right, we know that, yeah. Right. But yeah,
and like I said, the record isn't good for Tanahashi in New Japan against John. But by the way, neither is it for Ishii. But John has great chemistry with two of the best guys in New Japan.
Oh yeah.
Which is like I said, when he originally left WWE, and he went to make that New Japan run. Like I told people, I'm like, I've garnered a whole new love and respect for him.
Yeah.
Because, one, that takes balls because you've never done that before.
Yeah.
Two, you were willing to go to a dojo. Now, they were willing to not have him do that.
Yeah, exactly.
But he said, no, I want to respect and learn your style.
The only issue that Jesse had with this match was the fact that the promo to set it up was almost like they'd never faced each other before, even though now Jon Moxley's now 4-1 versus Kazuchika Okada.
So they've never like I said, it was just the one thing that stuck in my craw.
I even almost verbatim repeated it to Allison. All the roads, all the trials and tribulations, all the trains, everything. It's led to you, the ace. And then I was like, oh yeah, by the way, he has a 4-1 record. Allison goes, that's not very exciting. I'm like, duh. We all figured that much out.
Well, you know the record, it's not very exciting. But I also know that these two have great chemistry.
Well, yeah, exactly.
So, match was fantastic. Hiroshi Tanahashi, of course, is going to be treated like a hero on his entrance, and he was.
Motherfucker doesn't have to say a word, and he's basically God.
He's the ace, baby.
He's more over than God.
Him and Mick Foley might be the only ones who can agree that. Like, seriously, Mick Foley comes out anywhere. He could literally just come out to AEW to promote his new book. People will cry.
Yes. Mick Foley is the everyman who reached the pinnacle. Like that's who Mick is.
And I'm so happy that I actually got to meet him.
Yeah, he's
got a picture and an autograph with him of Mick Foley.
I've got a picture and an autograph, but I can't find the picture because Eric still has to find it for me. It's somewhere deep in his archives.
My dad has my photo because I was super young when I met him. But
right, yeah.
Yeah, great match, decent ending, stupid fucking brawl afterwards.
Oh, God.
So stupid.
Yeah.
Why do they have to have the afterbirths?
I don't know, man.
Because they think it's cool, I guess.
Because basically, according to what Tony will not report or tell anyone, the only wrestling he really ever watched was whatever Vince Russo produced, and it has to end in a Jerry Springer brawl.
That's stupid. Vince Russo is known as the fucking most hated booker of all time because his ideas were shit. Like they were so bad.
Do you remember when? Okay, you remember this? You didn't see this.
He created a podcast, Leroy, and all people do is shit on him on his own show.
It's hard to watch that show.
Vince?
It really is.
Really?
Yeah, Vince Russo has his own podcast.
Yeah. Well, Leroy.
We've quoted it a few times.
Well, Leroy.
Shit, I want to get on that.
Well, Leroy. The most famous wrestling podcast soundbite ever, the 45-minute rant that Jim Cornette had on Vince Russo. Yes. That was because Vince Russo stooged himself on his own fucking show, talking about how he called the network and said, they don't know what they're doing, you got to hire me as a consultant for TNA, and then they got booted off of Destination America. That's how the rant started. Was Vince Russo admitted that he called the network and told them they don't know what they're doing, and then Destination America was like, well, we just got sold a bill of goods. That was a quote from Russo, by the way. It was a quote. He said, bill of goods. Well, we'll just cancel the contract because we got screwed. Fuck it. And next thing you know, all of a sudden they're on Pop TV.
Does he still have that pot? I gotta get on there.
No, it still exists. Yeah.
Oh, he does it all the time. He does it weekly. He does it with Disco Inferno?
I think so.
He does it with Disco Inferno.
I could rip on both those guys.
Dude, their own fans do.
Yeah.
Every fucking week. The fan base that listens to them
we definitely
basically goes, what the fuck are you talking about? You were a terrible booker.
We got to get on. One of us has to get on there as 13 cards and just rip them.
The one thing that the IWC
it's amazing.
Can all come together and agree, there is not a, quote, secret underground fan base for any booking that Vince Russo ever did. The one thing we all agree on is Vince Russo should have never been booking nothing.
The only thing people will give him credit for is calling out Hulk Hogan on WCW television. And even then, most people are like, you probably should have did it differently.
Yeah.
But otherwise, no one likes you, dude.
No, bro. Nah, bro. I'm gonna talk like you, and I'm gonna do what you do on every show. By the way, Leroy, this is why it's so hard to listen to. Bro is literally every other.
It is every other word.
He has no.
He does that sound.
No. You don't understand. No. You don't understand. He doesn't have punctuation. There's no comma. There's no exclamation point. There's no period.
It's just bro.
It's all replaced by bro.
Yeah.
Every pause begins with a bro. Riddle can't do this good enough. And Riddle's high every show.
Go ahead, Leroy.
Oh, no. Riddle's not high. He's just comfortably numb.
No, he's high as balls, bro.
I don't even know if he's actually high. He just plays it real well.
Yeah. Well, he's high when the show's over.
Right.
Well, yeah. No. I've listened to a few of Vince's, and yeah, he says bro a lot. I was like, whoa.
And you know what? It's not a gimmick either. That's literally how he fucking talks.
And be like, hey, bro, yeah, can you say anything else but bro? Because you're not cool like Riddle and the California dude. You're a dumbass.
Bro. That's harsh, bro. That's literally the whole fucking show.
I fucking hate Vince Russo.
Yeah.
But
we gotta get on there and rip on him.
But anyway, this show.
I think I hate Vince Russo more than Jim Cornette. Maybe no, I don't.
Hey.
No, I don't.
That wouldn't be good for our ratings.
Jim, I love your Vince's lady.
But now back to the brawl because holy.
It didn't even make sense.
But again, everything around Jon Moxley, because this is John's thing since he got back to the Indies, which is weird because it wasn't what he did in CZW. Everything has to have chaos around him. I don't get it. This wasn't him in CZW, or am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Or am I straight up bullshitting these people when I say that Jon Moxley in CZW was not whatever the hell this is?
No, he's not. It's totally different.
What is he trying to get out of this?
I mean,
He likes chaos. He wants everything to be chaotic and doesn't realize that works for the small niche death match audience, but it will never be allowed on American television because Jim Cornette has been right about one thing 100% of the time since this whole thing in AEW started, and Jesse's argued with him on a bunch of stuff, but he's been right about one thing. TV audiences get bored with the same shit.
Yeah.
There is a way to capture the human eye that AEW doesn't get, and clearly Jon Moxley doesn't understand. John likes what a bunch of niche people like. Would Jesse and I go to a GCW show? We'd wear ponchos and protective gear, but we would, and we'd be front row.
I mean, I would go to a CZW show. Don't get me wrong.
But we'd still have a lot of PPE because we'd be in the front row and make sure we wouldn't get caught with any shards.
I mean, I don't know if I'm going to sit in the front row.
That's a dangerous place to be.
But these motherfuckers hit each other with glass. I don't want that shit flying on me.
Yeah. Like I said, goggles. We'll just bring safety goggles.
I respect pro wrestlers a lot, and I love them. And as people know, if you've ever seen me at a show, I give them a lot of love after a show.
Yeah.
Try to help them out.
Yeah.
But if I get hit with glass, we got to fight. And, yeah, you got to whoop my ass if I get hit with glass, bro.
But anyway.
The New York side comes out.
Yeah. Fuck that.
John is right now doing something, and sadly, it kind of ruined Blood and Guts because, folks, yes, there needs to be a cap on blood in professional wrestling after this shit.
Are we getting into that Dynamite?
No, because we have to basically now, Jesse, you are the resident stan. Where does New Japan fall at the end of all this?
They're fine.
No. Where do they fall in terms of how they feel about the partnership? Are they okay with it?
I'm sure they're okay with it.
Okay.
Numbers did good. They kind of probably got some of what they wanted out of it. Got a bit of an increase in the New Japan World subscribers, which is their big thing since they're trying to break it to America.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure they are absolutely okay with everything. The bookings. I'm sure they
of the 14 pay-per-views that they have ever done, this ended up being the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was the 6th highest buy-in pay-per-view they've ever had.
For AEW?
Yes.
Okay.
This was number 6 at 127,000. Revolution from last year clocked in at 135. Full Gear from last year clocked in at 145.
Guys, before you finish this, hold on.
Yeah.
Tony, you're going to learn this fucking lesson, which is why WB told you why they might end up putting their shit on just the Discovery Max thing in the future. No one wants to buy a $50 pay-per-view anymore.
No.
Way too expensive.
When Vince first started the WWE Network, people got mad. But he understood because he was like, my buy rates are starting to go down. Like, they're not in the millions anymore. Like, they're starting to go down.
He got out before the bubble.
Right, basically. And he understood, you know what, fuck it. If we can create our own content, because it was becoming a content world, if we can create our own and we control all of it, it's just they invested so much into it.
And it was only $9.99 a month.
Right.
So essentially, if nine people pay for the subscription, that's more than 2 pay-per-view buys.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
and it was monthly.
Right.
Even if they went through periods where there was no premium live event, pay-per-view at the time, it turned into we're still getting consistent money from these people.
And here's the other big thing that he foresaw, but some of it he didn't foresee. And a lot of them, like Netflix and all that, who are suffering now, didn't foresee.
Yes.
Is that
Vince, and by the way, another thing that Vince got out of, he sold the Peacock before everything went haywire too and got $1 billion out of
because what a lot of people did not foresee, including Netflix, which was the king of this for the longest time, was that, like, you can invest and do these big projects and they're exclusively yours and all that, but you got to start making some money back, because when you're constantly in the red on how you're creating the content, then investors are going to go, well, what am I investing into?
Well, see, that's why I said way back when the show first started, you just got on, Jesse, for all the people that were sitting in catering, you should have just called up Vince and been like, send me to Stanford for the studios for a couple of weeks. When Edge and Christian are done filming their shit, give me the camera for like 20 minutes and let me give you something.
Right.
Like the fact that you weren't pulling an Xavier Woods and creating a form of content to get yourself into the eyes of people, That was my biggest issue. Was I actually started to go more for the fun original stuff, even more so than the classic footage,
right?
Because I got to know people in a certain way.
Which, by the way, the library was insanely. I remember a lot of people were like, I know I don't watch it of the new stuff as often, but I had the network because Vince got the library of a lot of these classic companies, and it's amazing to go back and watch all that.
But my whole thing about it was
remastered.
Well, but my whole thing about it was that one failure with the network was they didn't just go to these people and say, "Look, we're not going to have you wrestle for a few months,
right?
But here's X amount of not dollars but time.
Right.
We'll fly you to Stamford. We'll pay the hotel, but every day come in and we'll give you a half hour with a small." Niche camera crew.
Well, and then one thing that he took heat for, which they should still take heat for, and now they're doing it better with NXT Level Up.
Yeah.
Hey, you got that big-ass gym down there in Orlando. 3 of them you can make studios. Just have a studio show on there.
Yeah.
Where the people you're not using on the main roster can do shit down there, show you what they got.
Yeah.
And then that way, if that's something you want to fuck with on the main roster, you can play with it.
See, what I would have pitched to Vince... And if I'd been made...
By the way, this is the reason why you don't have the people power. That ass clown. Bucktooth Kevin Dunn, who knows shit about pro wrestling but thinks he knows everything because he's gotten away with doing 75 cuts for 30 years. And Bruce Pritchard, who unfortunately does know pro wrestling but knows kissing ass a little bit better. Because if you get better... like I said, if you would have gotten better people around Vince... including Freddie Prinze before he kind of just left.
Yeah.
He was like, listen, some of those young guys are trying to hey, why don't we do this? I mean, one, it's cheaper.
Yeah.
We're already employees, so we're already getting paid. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
2, you're already paying the wrestlers who aren't fucking wrestling on the
the main show.
You have to pay them anyways in their contracts. So why don't we do like a little studio thing?
Well, but I would have gone to Vince, like I said, and he may have put me in charge of it and B all the onus on me, which would have been fine.
Right.
I would have just said, Vince, let's get a studio. Let's literally say, hey, instead of going on the road, come spend 3 weeks with us in Orlando, and every day let's basically take these NXT classes. And let's not show people the school side of it. Let's show them the project side of it in the sense of, guess what? 3 weeks, you'll get X amount of time. Do whatever. Keep it family friendly. Here are the guidelines.
Right.
Study these. But basically just have a promo class, but try to turn it into an OVW-style show.
Right.
And the fact that didn't happen is a failure on everyone, including Hunter, who I think got a little too big for his britches with NXT.
But like I said, it's his fault only in the sense of when he had more of Vince's ear, he should have fully used it.
Exactly.
Because those other 360-year-olds, just like they couldn't let go of their fucking power. Just to be like, listen, there's a lot of people who love this, but even the people who love this understand it can be better.
Yeah.
It was the one thing I found very true in this promo against CM Punk. Of course it could be better. But the problem was, 3 guys go, well, I mean, listen, if we're letting you train them and they're not ready when they come up, well, bitch, if you change everything that I've tried to put together that got over with our fans, that doesn't help.
Yeah.
And here's why I can relate this to AEW. You got Dark, you got fucking Dynamite, and now you have the old TNA Orlando studios.
You also have Elevation.
Right. But most of it's done in those studios now to save money.
Yeah. Studio wrestling.
You have that. You never use any of those fucking wrestlers. Very rarely.
Because again, this is the fucking thing that I'm trying to get through to the goddamn smarks. He is a fucking kid who got nice toys, but all of a sudden, dad came into a little money, got some better toys, and now he wants to play with those.
Right.
That's all he is. Because guess what? He went from a Sega, no offense Sega, to a PlayStation 5 when he went from Joey Janela to Bryan Danielson.
To be fair, Sega was just ahead of their time.
That's fair.
I'll defend Sega on that.
I enjoyed my Sega.
But
yeah, they were just ahead of their time.
But you know what
fucked up.
But you know what I'm getting at is that he's admitting
you can't try to get people to pay $800 for a machine that technically is probably like 3 years too early.
Right. Right. But that's my whole point is that Tony is trying to get people to not even realize that he's still. Remember, Tony's the good guy because he's employing everyone.
Get to the scrum.
Where are they?
Let's get to the scrum.
All right, we have to get to the media scrum, which I watched the whole thing. I
think I was sleepy, and that was good for me.
99% of the world was sleeping, including the locker room. So, Tony comes out. He's by himself. He's wide the fuck awake. There's a 9-year-old in the room. Why he wasn't in bed, I don't know.
Yeah, there was a 9-year-old there.
There was a 9-year-old.
Someone.
This is after the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Someone awesome. He's got his own show.
Yeah, he's got like his own little podcast.
Yeah.
What does up?
Joey Awesome or something.
Okay. Joey's awesome. Jay's awesome.
I'm not gonna rip on Tony or anything. I'm gonna go after the fucking parents. What the fuck are you letting your 9-year-old son be up at that? God, my son would be in bed.
And if he got up, if he got up, you'd smack his ass back to bed.
What the fuck are you doing? You get your ass back to bed. I've done that to Clara.
But anyway, so it's 2 in the morning. Tony is wide the fuck awake. I now know, and Lord, if you do exist, please don't ever let me remember what a Jufro looks like a black afro combo, because I now know what it looks like, and it ain't good.
He does exist, and he forgives you.
It looked Leroy.
Yes.
Leroy, it looks like a helmet.
I know.
It looks like a helmet.
I saw that.
It was
hair.
the weirdest. Okay, so anyway,
I don't know.
Let's get to this. Jay White comes out.
No.
Jay White comes out and does exactly what Jay White should do. He says, "I'm the king. I sold this out. I'm the reason you all showed up. Where the fuck is somebody to put my belt in the holder? Because why the fuck should I do it myself?"
Yeah, he couldn't put it up. Why did they have that anyways?
Well, no. Everyone has it because it's a clear thing that lets the belt stand out for photos. It's a good idea, but Jay White basically came out and stayed in character and said, "Why am I doing this myself? I am your king. Someone should do this." Tony apologizes. He never made Tony at fault for it. He blamed the stagehands. He did what he was supposed to. It was great. Jay White told everyone, "Fuck you. I'm great. I'm out of here." That's basically what everything comes down to.
Yeah.
I'm Jay White. I'm the reason you're all here. Fuck all of you. We still got to get to that thing he did in Japan where he said he's the reason for AEW.
Why haven't you sniffed my balls yet is basically Jay White.
That's basically what it is.
Well, I'm not a ball sniffer, so that's why I haven't.
Until you are not worthy of the king, apparently.
He left.
No, I sniff pussy and balls.
And then we get to Jon Moxley was next. I don't know why John was so early, but then again, John had to probably go home and go to bed.
You know what? He's a sober man now.
He's not.
He's a family man.
Yep.
I respect it.
Yes. He has to go home to the wife and the baby.
Right.
John basically answered some questions about the Blackpool Combat Club. He put over Brian Danielson as arguably the greatest wrestler ever in the world. He's in the conversation, but Jesse already has his GOAT figured out.
Right.
He did some cool stuff. He did some fun stuff. He said some weird stuff, but it's John.
He expect that.
He did what they're all doing as long as the check clears. He put over Tony. Then Tony gets asked a legitimate question. Thank you, Wrestling Inc., for trying to bring some realism into this about MJF. Declines to comment, says, "I want to stay on all the good stuff that just happened. There's a problem there, and you're a goddamn moron." But moving on. They tried to ask him later in the show about the whole Roe v. Wade situation, and his response was, and I get it, this is a professional response. You don't want to fuck up in this. Basically, this is the politics of say something to say nothing. That's what he did. He said, well, it hasn't really come up backstage yet with any of the females or anyone because we've been so focused on Forbbiden Door. Whatever. Anyway, so then...
Once again, it's not like he gives a shit about the women's division anymore.
Never has. All right, so then we get to... Now it's about to get really weird, and just plain out there weird. FTR shows up. Not only does he refer to Punk as Phil, he calls them by their first names, their real ones, and he refers to them in kayfabe. They talk about how happy they are to be here, how great of an environment it is, how a question came up. Do you guys think you've had a big resurgence since you got new theme music? It's basically just a remix of the Midnight Express, which they refused to acknowledge it was a remix of the Midnight Express. They put over like 3 dudes in the sound booth. Tony once again says he's heavily involved in the music. I'm like, stop being heavily involved in the music and maybe get involved with the booking because maybe you're going to be better at this because holy shit.
No, he's not.
They put him over because they had to. They talked about how happy they are to be there. It was basically, what everything in AEW is, a large jerk-off section. Moving on.
I mean, listen, as MJF said, this is all friends wrestling.
Moving on. Now it's time for things to get weird. The Rainmaker appears. Yeah. Mind you, we're about an hour and a half into this.
Now, they're used to this.
True.
Because
they do that in Japan.
They do this in Japan.
Yeah.
Now, the bookers, if they're there, they're in character. That's one.
Gato.
So Toga,
yep,
and a couple of the other guys. If they're there, they're in character.
Right.
Yeah.
And by the way, the owners never show up to these things because it's not for them to show up and talk about.
But the problem is that he's the owner, booker, sound guy. He's the owner, booker, sound guy. He's the second person in charge of costume making.
Massages feet, scratches some butts.
Yeah.
Wipes some asses.
Jerks some
wipes the
guys
belt down occasionally too. Yeah.
Maybe occasionally helps to build the ring. Gets yelled at by the ring crew and then leaves.
Because we can do a better job than him.
Tries to set up lighting, and the light guy is like, "Why the fuck is there pure red light in the ring? You're stupid." And he goes, "You're probably right." And then he walks away. He just does everything.
Yeah,
he does everything.
So anyway, Okada comes out, folks. If you thought the photo was cringy, it got worse because he hugs him. Okada is still posing for the camera because, again, like you said, this is his thing. Tony goes in for multiple hugs, but doesn't actually back up. It's like a hug, and then like the Bruce Lee, 5-inch punch, hug again. And yes, that face, folks, is not Photoshop. Tony Khan was legitimately mush-mouth hugging Okada. And Okada looked legitimately uncomfortable. Now, yes, they ended it with a good hug. But again, as Jesse pointed out last week, there's not a single New Japan guy who isn't going to be 100% professional to the host of the event.
That's right.
They're not stupid.
It's trained into them.
But my point is, it was awkward. It was. I don't care if Okada was like cool with it. It was weird.
I am almost certain Gato is probably like, "Hey, don't be just hugging up on Kazuchika unless Kazuchika comes to you."
Yeah, no shit. Tony, don't hug him.
And then there was like
shake his hand.
And then there was like
that would have made it. Thank you for.
Oh, you want to know the best part?
Shake
he shook his hand when he left.
See, he would have shook his hand, not hugged him.
I mean, me trying to hug him is different because I'm a fanboy. And then he would have hit me with the Rainmaker clothesline.
And you would have died happy.
And I would have smiled in death.
Yes.
Boom.
It'd be the happiest looking corpse in New York.
Oh, they would have been. He got clotheslined by Okada. He's happy. He's super happy right now.
Oh, I totally also forgot to mention the FTR thing that Jesse's going to go off on.
Oh.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Tony was asked about the whole music change because, like I said, he does everything.
Oh, yeah.
Tony used the line, and I quote, it kind of sucks that, like, there were some news sites that were pointing out before the show that they were going to have a music change. I hate when stuff gets spoiled.
What?
He's a dumbass. God.
I hate when the internet spoils stuff. Meanwhile, you employ Dave Meltzer. You do.
Wait, just wait. I'm trying not to get up from the seat. Hold on. He said.
I don't blame you if you do.
He said, "I hate when stuff gets spoiled."
Yep.
I hate when food gets spoiled, but.
Welcome to pro wrestling. What? Was Shaq Khan the worst fucking father on the planet?
Yes.
I am convinced.
Yes.
I am convinced this was the worst dad ever.
He locked him in a broom closet
like
for
he
price.
beat him and his sister ruthlessly.
Yes.
And then as they got older, he was like, "Fuck, I got to make up for it. Spend my money." Like,
before I die.
At least a sister can have successful businesses, though.
Daddy has to buy this one.
This guy is fucking weird. He's got no girlfriend, which is weird. You're a billionaire.
Yeah.
You can have a fake one like Elon Musk, at least, at the minimum.
Yeah, you could have a fake 2 or 3.
Right.
I'd have a harem for Christ's sakes.
Elon got a fake family and a baby out of it.
Right.
And, oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Elon's got a kid, yeah.
Elon's got a kid. She doesn't. By the way, the mother fucking hates Elon.
Yeah.
But, hey,
I heard that, yes.
He's a billionaire. I get it. At least your kid is set up for the future. Fine.
Pretty much,
I'm not hating on it.
No.
Okay?
Like, you know what? You should have put some on.
For those who don't know, I'm against the overturning of Roe v. Wade. I respect women's autonomy for their bodies.
As we've said on the show.
So I have no problem that she's doing that to Elon Musk. Fuck that guy.
Yep.
But
There you go.
you, a pro wrestling booker, you are 3.5 years into this and you go, man, I hate when things are spoiled. No shit! Who's spoiling it? Oh, yeah, you!
Not to mention the fact you employ Dave Meltzer. You do. Check.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
This is clear now.
Forensic accountant, please check his thing. And I bet you that his checks come from Jacksonville, Florida, i.e., but you know what? They're probably hiding under the Jaguars' payroll.
Probably.
Because the Jaguars ain't paying anybody else.
Yeah.
Not really.
But anyway,
We might have to investigate that one.
you and the rest of the
That one's not hard to find
IWC
out.
stays
All right.
quiet when Dave Meltzer spoils the entire Royal Rumble one year. Silence. Someone says FTR is getting a new theme song. Oh, no, this wasn't even FTR. This was the Orange Cassidy
Yeah.
song. Orange Cassidy went back to his old theme song, which, by the way, Jim and Brian laughed at because it's a song from 40 years ago. He's like, yeah, Jefferson Airplane spoiled it when they released it in the 60s, you idiot.
Yeah, it's like, change music. Not a big deal.
But yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
so the media scrum, folks, the whole thing is on YouTube because it was, but there's no way I was going to be up at fucking 2 a.m. watching this shit. I watched it before Jesse came over this morning. But son of a bitch, he didn't blink for fucking 2 hours. I am not kidding. I am not trying to make a joke. I am reporting facts of journalistic integrity. The motherfucker doesn't blink.
Because he's too high.
Man, cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Cocaine.
Guys. You guys don't understand. Dave Chappelle was trying to tell you, and as someone who did it once, I could tell you, cocaine is a hell of a drug.
It is one hell of a drug, yeah.
I mean, it does wonders.
These media scrums are as scripted as possible. But then when you get asked a legit question by somebody that wants a real story,
answer.
you got dick for me? Go to hell. Now we move on to, because we have to. Yes, folks, it's a little heavy on AEW. We'll get to Money in the Bank because it did just happen last night. Now we move on to, oh, by the way, folks, I'm a prophet because I said this. Jesse already knew it, so he feels like a prophet because of it. We get to Blood and Guts on Dynamite. They mentioned Forbidden Door 3 times. I'm not joking. I'm pretty sure they mentioned it 3 times. What if I went back to Japan? Your boy Chucky T's back.
Yeah, I don't
in
know.
a fucking rainbow suit.
Which is weird.
And a weird bowl cut. That was weird. I don't know what that was about.
I don't know what happened to Chucky, but I'm sad for him.
He went home and his mama gave him a bowl.
I don't know, but I feel so bad for Chucky.
Well, hey, I have the.
Hold on.
I have the
You got the results? All right, let's get to them because
I do have
by the way,
results.
Folks, to quote Jesse, everybody went home. They didn't bring it up but 2 times, and they finally took JR off of commentary on Dynamite. He's now going to be moved to Rampage. That's where he should be. Because guess what?
No
he gave up years ago. He did. He gave up 2 years ago in this company.
I'm about to say, for this company, he gave up 2 years ago.
He gave up 2 years ago in this company.
Pandemic pissed him off. He was done.
Yep.
The lovely Blood and Guts, as is according to Wikipedia here, started out with a lovely Orange Cassidy defeating Ethan Page with Dan Lambert by pinfall.
I am so over Dan Lambert.
Yeah, so am I.
Because Ethan Page comes out and he looks like a star. He actually looks like someone that can wrestle.
Right.
Ethan, call Josh. I'm sure you're still friends.
Right.
But stop this. But anyway.
Hold on. Leave Lambert somewhere else.
No. Just fucking send him back to America's Top Team. Because, seriously, he's just repeating snippets of the Jim Cornette podcast. That's all he's doing. He doesn't have any original material. He's literally cheap heat the current audience. Oh, yeah, well, guess what? Jesse could do that, and he's never been a professional wrestler a day in his life.
Easy.
And then he just repeats the same shit, saying, you guys, you don't know this, that. Dude, Jim Cornette said this 4 days ago when the podcast got dropped on YouTube, which is now 303,000 subscribers. For the repeat of the podcast, it's 300,000 people.
Right.
It's beating Rampage.
It is beating
But
Rampage.
anyway.
I love you.
So this was weird. This was awkward. And something I have never in my fucking life of watching wrestling ever actually known,
Yeah.
the best friends got kicked out before the match started. The faces did.
They never said it?
No. They did. That's why I'm pissed. Because Dan Lambert says to the referee, we care about rules in AEW. So we're going to have you do your job. These guys don't have a valid Michigan Athletic Committee manager license. So kick them out.
Oh, my
Not
God.
only are they breaking kayfabe, they're literally just talking about the Athletic Commission openly now. So that's why the best friends weren't allowed out there. And that wasn't even the most egregious thing that happened on the pre-show For Blood and Guts. Next match, please, because this was atrocious. Chucky T, why is he there?
Like I said,
He was gone for 4 months.
Chucky, I love you. Just
Now
know
now that Rocky Romero's back in fucking Japan, now they got to put Trent back with Chucky.
Yep.
And Chucky was never hurt.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, by the way, congratulations to your boy Kip Sabian for coming back and taking off the box.
he had to go home.
And he took the box off.
It's the only place where they actually show him to look like legitimately sized.
It's the only place he could get the box. You know what I mean?
And also to be fair,
God.
I'm sad he took the box off because it added 6 inches to his height. Anyway,
All right. Well, the next.
He's a better professional wrestler than this.
Yeah.
Like this is all he's doing.
at least he's committed to something.
Like I said, I give him credit.
Committed, maybe.
He's
Yeah.
committed to the gimmick.
Yep. Anyway, Leroy, next match.
All right.
Even Jim Cornette would have to respect being committed to the kayfabe.
Yeah, right.
on
Yeah,
it.
he'd have no choice.
All right. Well, we have Luchasaurus with his new handler, Christian Cage, defeated Serpentico.
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 Who's still there, and no one knows why.
You know what? No.
And-
No. Let him read Serpentico's name wrong because Serpentico doesn't fucking matter.
Sorry.
No, it doesn't.
I apologize.
No, don't.
Okay.
Do not. No one gives a shit
no one
about
cares about
Serpentico.
Serpentico.
It was a 55-second squash.
This was actually good, and here's
Yes,
why.
I agree.
Christian didn't cut the exact same promo as last week, but it was similar.
But he
The turtleneck is working.
I'm about to say he also added a little bit more
He did.
worseness to it. It was
But
pretty
here's
good.
the deal. This is what Jim has been screaming for 3.5 years. Have the big guy come out, squash a small guy, don't expose what he can't do, and then get the fuck out.
Right.
Because that's what they did. This was good because Christian can talk and Luchasaurus can be muscle.
Right.
Because he's at least a big fucking dude.
Right.
This was great. Now we get to the shit sandwich. Go ahead.
Well, by the way, I love the change of the entrance.
Yep.
Like he does look like Dinosaur King, but he should.
Yes.
He should.
Yes.
Big guy, black belt. Like he should be a dangerous, scary-looking guy.
I can't hate on this because A, it was short, and B, they finally did what they should have done 4 years ago when the dinosaur got there. Because you want to know what's funny? Lucha Underground did it
They damn sure did.
Yep.
They damn sure did.
in
Yes,
the
they
Lizard
did.
Tribe,
Yes, they did.
and it worked.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
And he was over.
Yes, he was.
Because he was bigger than everybody else.
That's right.
So, fuck, I
But hey,
I can't hate this.
Here's the thing: we already know.
Yeah.
They didn't even want to talk to Chavo Guerrero, so we know.
yeah.
Why would they steal his ideals? But later,
Yeah, exactly.
So I did like the meme where they said, "How did Christian get Luchasaurus?" And they showed a little meme with the Power Rangers, like the little flute. I thought that you didn't see that one.
well then.
It was a little dinosaur flute. And I'm just like,
Unfortunately,
oh, that
our
was
show's
good.
going to have 2 Power Ranger references because Becky Lynch gets one later.
So I thought that was
That was
really
either
funny.
that or it was a Loki inspired thing. Either way,
One of the
I
two.
liked it.
No, she looked like the Green Ranger.
Oh, I know.
All right.
All
yes,
right.
yes, yes.
All right, next match.
Trying to summon
Because
Seth
guess
Rollins
what?
another
Because
championship
guess what?
run.
Despite Jesse loving chaos, at least for me, from this moment on, this show just went straight down a hill.
All right.
The snowball did not end.
It was a 6-man tag with was one of our favorite guys, Danhausen and FTR,
I love Danhausen.
with Max Caster and the Ass Boys.
FT Hausen.
FT Hausen. That's what they call it. FT Hausen. Okay.
That's what I should call it.
FT Hausen.
By the way,
something like
folks, if you use Danhausen correctly, and by that I mean just let him go do his shtick, he's great.
Yes.
But there's a reason why this sucked, and I'll get to it.
that. And
And it wasn't Danhausen or FTR.
Danhausen, and they beat the Ass Boys. and
Oh,
Max Caster.
was it the Afterbirth?
No.
No.
We'll get to that because that was awful as well. So, Leroy,
Yes.
One of the fucking Acclaimed is still in a goddamn wheelchair. But he's got a crutch, so like we're kind of setting shit up here.
Yeah,
right?
I have no idea what's going on with him.
So anyway,
how long has he been in a wheelchair now?
At least a couple of weeks. Maybe a month.
Yeah. Anyway,
he must have got hurt on the YouTube.
So Billy's down there. Yeah. Billy Gunn.
Yeah, it says Billy Gunn.
Hold on.
There.
So Billy Gunn, towards the end of the match, tries to get in the ring via Paul Heyman. The referee goes to stop Billy. Like, what are you doing? Now, was it Max Caster was in the match? Who was in the match? Was
Max Caster was in the match, yeah.
So Anthony Bowens wasn't.
Caster,
okay,
right.
So Bowens, all of a sudden...
Yeah, he's down there too.
Bowens, all of a sudden, slides in the ring. Mythically, he's healed. He's gonna hit Danhausen, or one of the members of FTR. I lost track because there's something that you have to focus on here.
I think it was Dax.
Okay, he was going to hit Dax with the crutch. Fucking Aubrey, this goddamn bitch who keeps going on the internet at talking like this is her fucking dream job, but she's fucking sucks at it, turns around. No, not turns around and does something wrong. She literally turned around. Fucking both eyes were on Anthony Bowens. You could see the light bulb go off in her ponytail like, oh shit, I shouldn't be seeing this. And she immediately goes back to Billy, who has slid out of the ring. And she stays there for 30 more seconds.
Oh my.
So that Anthony Bowens can miss Dax and hit one of the ass boys.
Oh, God.
Bitch, you said on your own fucking show, and Aubrey, I liked you at the beginning because you were the only one with credibility in the referee room.
Yeah,
not hard to do, but that is long gone because guess what? You said on your own show, the best compliment as a referee is no one notices you were there. Bitch, the camera was fucking on you when you fucking moved. Like, we saw you. And then there was the stare down in the women's match where all of a sudden you got to fucking, like Kermit the Frog, move into the middle of the goddamn fucking lug. That was fucking embarrassing.
Like, hello, Miss Piggy. No.
Tell me I'm wrong that you don't see Kermit now.
God.
Anyway.
Hey-ho.
And now for the placenta that Jesse mentioned so eloquently earlier.
I'm sorry.
That has to slide out there.
Oh, God.
And now for the placenta.
I thought my rants were incredible.
That was good.
Wow.
We applaud you.
Man, he had to get that off of his chest.
All right.
Here's the funny thing. We go to lunch. He's already gone off, and I looked at him and laughed. I literally told I didn't actually see this. That's the first time I didn't see a really bad botch.
See, I don't think he can't get this out at home.
No, I can.
But she won't listen to her.
She doesn't listen.
But anyway, shut up.
But anyway, hold on.
Save it for the show.
Hold on.
Oh,
now it's time for the afterbirth.
Well, no, he said the placenta slide.
Whatever this shit is, all right?
Slide an onion like it does.
Do me a favor, throw in a frying pan, Brandy, you'll still eat it. Anyway.
Well, all right.
Fucking, now the ass boys are arguing with Bowens and Caster, and Billy Gunn shoves his own kid to the ground.
Yeah, he turned on his own kid.
No, that's not what's egregious about this. Billy, hold on. I actually kind of got it. I was like, okay,
my brain is hurting again.
You could sell it later on another episode of Dynamite that, okay, Billy was trying to get his son to understand it happens, whatever, cooler heads. The fucking part about this is...
Yeah.
The follow-up was fucking 2 hours later when they filmed Rampage.
Yeah.
So the same audience saw the blow-up and the explanation 2.5 hours apart. I'm not bullshitting anyone.
And we didn't find out till 2 days later.
Yep. Now.
What the
next match, because fuck this.
Wow. I'm hurt. My brain hurts a little there after that.
She had both eyes on Bowens.
Yeah.
Oh,
I literally watched the fucking ponytail bob like, oh shit, I shouldn't be seeing this.
All right.
I saw it.
So we have
I'm
going to have to go rewatch the footage because, I actually didn't see it.
We had the TBS champion, Jade Cargill, beating, Leela Gray by pinfall. That was a minute and 55.
Layla actually was just in MAW.
Yeah.
About a month ago.
That was like 2 minutes. They squished her.
Well, yeah.
I really don't know.
For a women's, that's kind of a squish.
I really
That is a
don't.
squish.
Yeah.
I really don't know how to describe this because all it did was expose that Jade is very still raw, and they're
limited,
and they're going backwards on her
Yeah,
booking.
like she feels limited.
They're
And
going
she's-
backwards
And
with
she's
her.
working with
I don't understand
with
this.
Mr. Danielson, so I don't understand.
Like I said, not even Danielson's this good.
I don't get Jay Cargill because she now looks limited again. What is going on?
I don't know. Well,
How? Listen. By the way, guys, we're going to try to have Al back on the show because I know a lot of people loved when we were talking boxing. And I know a lot of people said that they loved hearing me go back and forth about boxing. But the big thing in boxing is, usually when you see fighters progress, that's a good thing. And you want to teach them more so they can kind of grasp more and add to their game. Pro wrestling is very much the same. When you can see people doing better, adding more to their game, learning how to tell stories a bit better, you want them to keep doing that, and then that way you can try to help them add more.
yeah. Now she went backwards.
She really was one of the best up-and-coming players in this company, and now she feels so fucking limited.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, I thought having Stokely might be a great thing because it's just, not that she's bad at promos, but sometimes as CM Punk, because I know he was against the whole idea of having Paul as his manager when he was, the heel version of the champion. Sometimes it's a really good thing, though, because then you're both pissing off a crowd, and it helps to sell heel heat.
When I see this whole thing, I see the decline of a young woman who was pushed to the moon because they kind of kept her very limited. There wasn't a lot going on. But then the brawl that happened afterwards, she looked so bad in the brawl. I just didn't know where to go with her. And at that moment, I had to throw my hands up and be like, yeah, I gave her Woman of the Year, and I clearly am not being backed up by even her.
I just don't know how
She's
she went
failing
backwards
you.
like this.
She's failing you.
And Bowens is doing nothing. Or not Bowens.
Stokely.
Stokely's doing nothing for this.
Yeah.
He's legitimately making nothing happen. And I don't understand.
What's the point of him being there then?
All right, next match.
Well, it's the blood and guts match. With the Blackpool Combat Club against Jericho, and is that when they came out with those red suits?
Sorry, pause. What the fuck?
What?
Are you?
What are you watching there?
She saw him.
Oh, you're watching that clip. This is really fun if everybody's listening.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
To see Jesse's response to this.
She saw him.
And she did nothing. No disqualification.
She literally tried to look away like she didn't see him.
Oh, I love it. This is fun.
Billy's in the ring.
Yep, and now he's gone.
Billy. He puts down the gun, boy. He goes to curse the foot.
Yeah.
Goes to curse the foot. She gets up. Bowen's in the ring with Bowen. Okay, if you see someone in the ring with a foreign object, Eddie made a career out of this, something happens with the ref. Nope, she turns right back around to Billy. She turns right back around to Billy Gunn,
crazy.
and now Jesse's like, how did I miss this?
It's all right.
I really didn't see it when I watched the replay. Because
And the worst part about it is, hold on. The worst part about it is, I'm going to try to still frame this because it got worse. Let me hold on a sec, Jesse. Just you give it. Hold on.
All right.
All right, hold on. Wait, and hold on, and.
By the way, for those who are wondering if we'll do the live thing again, well, we will, but
It won't be this.
It's going to come at a cost.
Oh, shit. Oh.
So be on the lookout for that explanation tomorrow.
Jesse is now looking. This is not, and Jesse can tell this, this is not the FTR grabbing Billy Gunn as part of a spot. They're
What?
stopping No, Billy's trying to grab her to pull her back over.
Oh my God.
To make sure that she's looking at him.
This is actually happening on camera.
Oh. And you say, and everybody's mad, calling us hate. No. We're not hating. We are just pointing out the blatantly obvious
Bro, you wouldn't even see that
stupidity.
at an independent show.
No.
That was terrible.
The guys in the independent show are way better than that.
Jesse, her whole head turned.
She literally got up and saw him with the damn weapon.
And then she looked away. By the way, correct me if I'm wrong. Did you not see the head bob? Like, oh shit, light bulb. I just
like she wasn't I turned around too quick. Well, at that point, you might as well just fucking you just got to do it on the fly.
Yeah.
Maybe the refs don't get permission to do that.
Yeah, probably not.
Maybe
anyway,
not.
So now that that's over with, now
blood and guts.
The blood and guts
can get
match.
the blood and guts.
Is that when Jericho and the boys came out with those pretty red things?
You are
my
fireball.
Oh,
my
wizard.
Whose ball
The
sing.
And the music is terrible.
This is Jericho's Appreciation Society.
Tell me why I had to watch this bullshit. Tell me why
I had to watch all of this.
Tell me why I never want to watch again.
Oh my God!
Oh,
That was all on the fly. I want to point that out.
Wow.
We did not record that. We did not go over that.
She has nothing to say. She look at her face. She's
Please,
what the hell
please
was
clip that. Please find a way to clip that.
We got to clip that and put that up separately.
Oh my God in hell. So let me.
I'll find that.
Yeah.
I'll save that clip.
Holy crap.
I will put that on her.
That's gonna go viral.
Put that on our Twitter. That's
Yeah,
gonna go
that's
viral.
going viral.
Somebody
send it to
we gotta find a
Jericho.
video editor of our friends and have them match it to them walking out doing this. That'd be so good.
I'll try.
But
I
anyway-
will try.
TikTok this.
Yeah, exactly.
I will
But anyway,
try my best to do it.
But anyway, so let me describe this.
Oh my God.
This was insanity because Jon Moxley, Mr. Unhinged, I come for blood, stood patiently on the other side of the ring while everyone was over here.
I know.
You know.
Anyway,
I just
they have a bunch of sloppy fights. They botched the beginning of the match. The beginning of the match was a botch.
Yeah, they did. Botch.
Sammy, don't go over. What are you doing?
I don't know what he was doing.
Sammy, you jumped over the guy.
Yeah.
You jumped over the guy.
Right. And here's the thing. I want to give Sammy credit because he did go 60 minutes in this thing. So I gotta give him
He's got
credit.
a death wish, as we learned.
Well, clearly, but I do gotta give him a little bit of credit.
60 minutes is 60 minutes.
Like, when you can go like that, you gotta give the wrestler credit. That's hard to do.
Yep.
But come on, bro. Listen, it happens in wrestling every now and then. You overthink how far you might need to jump.
Yeah.
You're very athletic.
Yeah.
You might overshoot a guy or a gal. Whoever is in the position. I've seen it at indie shows. It happens. Sometimes you get a you effed up chant, whatever. But people accept it. We move on because it can happen as long as everybody's okay. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Bro, he overshot him by like 2 feet.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, this is a cage. How do you overshoot someone by 2 feet?
Yeah.
He wasn't looking where he was aiming.
Bro, you got to stop thinking about Ty Conti. Just wrestle. But be a pro wrestler. You can bang her when you're done.
And
what are we
overshoot by 2 feet. Yeah.
They had a video package.
I mean, she is short.
They had
so.
a video package for this that for some reason had Dean Malenko and Ruby Soho. I don't know why. I don't know why either one of them was involved in this.
How dare you put Dean Malenko in your bullshit, just Jericho. How dare you ask Dean Malenko for a favor, Chris Jericho? Dean Malenko retired a happy man, a good man.
But
do not include him in your Canadian bullshit. Go ahead,
I'll have to
Leroy.
say about their outfits they came in. I'm not trying to.
And I like Canadians, by the way.
And I apologize to
You
all
do.
my friends like this. That was the gayest looking shit they were wearing. I know gay men, and never in their life would they wear something like that.
Not like that.
And they would come out and
attention AEW. This was the most sports Vince can't sports entertainment. You know what? I never thought I'd say this, but Chris, you out sports entertainment Vince.
There you go.
Because not even Vince would have allowed 90% of this to happen.
A normal gay man, like the gentleman that makeover guys, whatever, like, they'd be like, Jericho, what the hell are you doing? That's just really bad.
By the way, you want to know the saddest
and
part?
You want to know the
saddest part? The most sports entertainment moment was Eddie Kingston.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Eddie entered the cage by not unlocking his eyes from Chris Jericho and hitting two dudes with a kendo stick who clearly ran up for the bump. He didn't even actually swing. He just tapped them. And they sold it like Sting with super kicks from the small children that Jesse still hasn't seen this happen yet.
What did you hear? Somebody got
He sold it like death when he got kicked in the shoulder. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I heard they who did Cesaro Claudio spin up on the top?
He tried.
Yeah, I can't remember who that was.
I saw he was doing that.
Was it one of the 2.0 guys? It wasn't Hager. I think it was one of the 2.0 guys.
Watching Dynamite this week was like watching a Raw replay from 2017. Like, you almost didn't care.
And you want to know something, Leroy? Leroy,
it's nice.
Leroy,
it's relaxing.
we spent a good 5 minutes on a sports entertainment segment where Ty Conti attacked referee Aubrey. Deserved it for a botch, but that's not here or there. Fuck you, Aubrey. So she attacked Aubrey to get the key to the door. To open the door. But then she got attacked by Ruby Soho, who's now involved in this. It was the first time Ruby Soho got on Dynamite, and she was worthy in like the last 6 months. But anyway.
Who is she aligned with now?
Ruby Soho, she's with
BCC.
Oh, she is?
But anyway. Mostly because of Eddie. But anyway.
Wow.
So, anyway, Leroy, I'm not done.
Yeah.
They made a big deal to get the key to open the door to Blood and Guts. 5 minutes before, one of the dudes from 2.0 was hanging by his fucking knees outside the cage, bloody, looking like an upside-down looking Jesus after the crucifixion.
It's true.
And this was on fucking network television.
It's true.
There needs to be a cap on blood in wrestling, because even this was too much. Even this made no sense. And then they finally get to the top, and by the way, Leroy, now we have to get into your years of wrestling, which even dwarfs Jesse over here.
Oh, for sure.
Leroy, what exactly is Blood and Guts, but they can't call it that? What is the match? What match are we parodying?
That's War Games.
Okay, so War Games was famously Dusty in a blow-off against who? The Horsemen.
Yeah.
So it's a blow-off match. When this is over, everyone go to your separate corners. We're done, right?
Yeah.
The match ended setting up an angle. Are you sure Vince Russo's not booking this shit? They had a blow-off, hour-long, 60-minute bloodbath to set up an angle. Because guess what? Eddie Kingston didn't beat Jericho. Their feud's not over.
Oh, my God.
So Tony's going to wait 6 months and come back to it. Because there was never an ending. And Jericho probably knows it.
And consider it
because how it ends was Jericho tapped out, but the referee was staring at the guy that Claudio was tapping out. But Kingston was trying to tap out Jericho. And Kingston wasn't happy that they won. He was dishappy about how they won.
Oh, my God.
You guys can chant Eddie all you want like he's Eddie Guerrero, but I'm tired of him.
No, yeah, he's a dumbass.
I'm
Eddie,
over the character.
Eddie, Vince would have had you do something similar to this, but you probably wouldn't be as bloody, right?
By the way, the blood isn't needed. They do War Games without blood.
They do.
By the way, WCW in the golden days of War Games did it without blood.
Yeah.
They just beat the shit out of each other.
John Moxley had a fork. John Moxley was basically Batman in this match. Shit was coming out of his belt. I'm not joking. Shit was coming out of the belt.
I am Batman, my utility belt.
Moxman.
Now that would make a copyright for us, so let's be careful about that. DC's a little bit on edge right now.
Hey, you won't fire Ezra Miller. I'm going to sing the Batman song. Go fuck yourself.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But anyway, Moxley had a fork. There were a bunch of timely references that William Regal dropped that no one in an AEW audience knows about because they don't actually know real pro wrestling. Fuck you, you don't. You don't.
I mean, he's such a minefield of pro wrestling knowledge that when he speaks for that crowd, I feel bad for him.
Oh, I just listened to him during commentary, and I was like, I learned so much.
Because he's such a wealth of knowledge that they're too stupid to learn anything.
Yeah. But anyway, the match ends.
Hell, so is JR, but he gave up. He was like, what am I dropping knowledge for? This
JR's been given up a long time ago. So yes, one of the biggest, most ultimate blowout matches in the history of professional wrestling. It's supposed to end feuds and create stars. Yeah, it was an angle to get Claudio and Kingston's next thing on Dynamite.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way.
They're dumb.
Oh, by the way, no one ever explained why the one dude from 2.0 was hanging up looking like Jesus. He just all of a sudden ended up there.
Like I said,
How did he end up?
So I saw some angles. It was
the camera never showed him.
It was
the first time you noticed it. The camera showed him already bloody, hanging upside down.
It was Ortiz who did that to him, but because he put him through like. By the way, why is the opening that large in the two-sided cage there? That's dangerous.
Yep.
The top opening?
Well, no, the sides. Because basically Ortiz was able to push him off on the sides.
They fit through the side of the cage. That's how they got out. That's why I said the whole thing with Ty and the key made no sense, because two dudes were already outside the cage.
Yeah. By the way, there's two doors, too, so they can also get out on the other side.
Yeah.
Okay, when the normal is when you can't. You can get out the top. But you can't. There's no way to get out the side.
No, it's a closed cage.
But the sides were open enough.
They closed it.
But the sides were open. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, the sides were open enough. They were able to slide out
between the scaffolding and the cage that was big enough for someone to get out.
Ortiz was fighting. I forget the guy's name.
He's in 2.0.
Yeah. And
or was that no? I think Daniel Garcia was the one that got swung.
It might. No, it might have been Daniel Garcia. You're right.
Pretty sure it was Daniel.
But
and by the way, Jesse's sitting there like. I watched this man have a great match at Terminus, and now he's doing this shit.
There you go.
Terminus with another show coming up in August, I believe.
Yep.
August.
What a use of talent. And by the way, 2.0, to everyone, this is no different than what they were doing in fucking NXT. This is no different. What? Zero different. Well, they were on a big show. They were in main events. On television.
They constructed that cage wrong. They're not supposed to have openings there.
You think?
All. Oh my god!
You think?
You dumb.
You fucking think?
Stupid sons of bitches! Jesus Christ!
We're skipping
ruining my wrestling.
We're skipping Rampage because the only thing that matters is apparently Brody King is now being fed to Moxley.
Yeah, he won
the Royal Rampage, I should say, Jesse. We don't know why it was called that, but
20 minutes. Yeah.
No one was ever explained why it was a Royal Rampage. But anyway, moving on to another AEW topic that is kind of interesting, and here's why: because somebody who I think is a pretty big deal in pro wrestling had some things to say about it. Logan Paul has signed with the WWE. And a certain world champion in wrestling decided to weigh in, and he said some very unflattering things about your favorite wrestler, Alexander Hammerstone. We all know Alexander Hammerstone.
MLW World Heavyweight Champion.
World Heavyweight Champion. Looks like $1 million.
Yes,
is an absolute beast.
Yes,
is actually friends with Super Beast.
Yes, he is.
Of the Super Beast training compound. And for Dark Arts Entertainment, that's right, folks, Dark Arts Entertainment will have live pro wrestling that will not include anyone from Blood and Guts because nobody wants to see that.
And it would be a horrible show if they were in there.
DarkArtsVegas.com for your ticket needs and or the app. Jesse said the app is currently up.
It is working, but if you ever have issues, you can also find them on Facebook. Let them know, and they'll help you out.
Yeah, they're pretty good about it. But no, Alexander Hammerstone had some interesting comments, and you know what? We here at the show, we admit when we're wrong. We'd love to gloat when we're right, but we also acknowledge what truth is in front of us. As Jesse always puts it, my eyes do not lie.
No. When you see it.
Damn it, I got to trademark that.
You should. Alexander Hammerstone simply put, and he went right into it too. He didn't preface nothing. He just tweeted out, Logan Paul is bigger and in better shape and has more followers than all your favorite indie guys.
That's true.
That's true.
And the sad part about it is you look at Logan Paul, he's in better shape than half the dudes on the AEW roster.
That's true.
And his last match with The Miz and the Mysterio, Very good.
By the way, folks, for those of you
did
wondering
pretty
why
good.
Mysterio's face Judgment Day on main event, that's going to happen now on Raw, because on main event, that's where they figure things out, you goddamn idiots.
People are so stupid. Oh, my God, they already moved them all to main event. Maybe because they were just trying to work stuff out, guys.
Because guess what? Vince creates for not Jesse, who has nothing better to do in life but watch pro wrestling, it seems like.
That's true.
He does it for the casual person who's not going to watch main event like Jesse.
By the way, you didn't have to say it out loud, fucker. Because now I'm going to yell at him next time I see him. He'll be like, I mean, listen, pal, I don't give a shit about you, but I love you.
Jesse, you've had 30-some years of reasons to yell at Vince, so it doesn't really matter what I say now.
Vince, I've watched so much wrestling. I just want one thing. But, yeah.
But, yeah, no.
Get this weird kid out of here.
When you really think about it, folks, if Logan is willing to take this seriously,
which he clearly is.
Triple H endorsed it.
Yeah.
Alexander Hammerstone, love or hate him, folks, and guess what? He don't care if you love or hate him because he don't give a shit about you. Alexander Hammerstone's right. He's more over than your favorite indie wrestler.
Yeah, he is.
He has more followers combined on this earth than many people. Yes, they don't want Jake because nobody wants Jake. He's a piece of shit who made Tyron Woodley throw a fight.
No one likes that little motherfucker.
He's also broke because he put everything into crypto, and that's only dropped $10,000.
He gets everything he deserves.
And see, this Logan Paul. My girlfriend does not watch wrestling,
but knows who Logan Paul is.
But she knows who Logan Paul is.
Now,
I've heard of that guy.
Now, yes, I've said on the show he's a piece of crap, but as Allison's tried to explain, ever since his issue in the Japanese suicide forest, he's tried to make amends. He's tried to at least be a somewhat of a better guy. He's still a complete douchebag, but he's tried to make himself out to a better person. WWE just will not book him for any Japanese tours. That's just not going to happen, because I'm pretty sure the Japanese government still won't allow him inside the country.
And they might arrest him.
He can be a big douchebag in WWE.
No.
If he wants to be.
No. He just is. We're just going to end with that because he is. Right. But I hate to say it, guys. This is kind of a big signing because that was the most liked photo in the history of WWE's Instagram.
Mm-hmm. True.
And it looks like his first
Twitter, I should say.
His first feud is going to be with Miz.
Yeah.
Miz.
Which
is not bad.
That's a great way to start.
I know Jesse had to argue this a couple weeks ago when people keep trying to say Miz is a demotion, and I'm like, he's the gatekeeper to the main event.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really is.
You feel with Miz, the next thing you're doing is winning Money in the Bank or a world title.
Listen. Let's just. I'm gonna just throw it out there. You guys are Hall of Famer guys. You might not like him.
Yes,
you might hate him. Blah blah. He's a Hall of Famer,
and you're not supposed to like him. So
by the way, especially not right now, you're not supposed to like him. So
all right.
You say you say the gatekeeper. I think of Ghostbusters. Are you the gatekeeper?
Yeah. So now we move on.
I will be.
Oh jeez.
Now we move on. We have more important things to get to in NXT, but Jesse, Nikita was back. Go ahead.
Thicky James. Thick Stratus.
Oh, yeah.
Thick Mella. See, I even added a new one in there.
How many minutes are we going to give him on this one?
Daily.
How many minutes are we in the show?
Not Bailey. Daily.
We're almost at 2.
Thicky Lynch.
We got plenty of time.
Okay.
Thick Flair. Oh, I got more. Hold on.
I know.
We know. We're not interrupting.
My thickness. Your thickness. It's a Yakana reference. For
there you go. Yes.
So, bull your thickness.
Oh.
Thick Meisters. 2 ham bones. World beaters. Yams. You could come over for Thanksgiving anytime. Has returned to our televisions. And it was glorious.
Oh, yes, it was.
The world is brighter today because the ham bones of life graced my screen on a Tuesday.
And you know what I'll have to say to that is? Testify!
They said we're obsessed, but there's a reason.
Testify, my brother!
Yes, she's great in the ring.
I should turn my mic off.
She is absolutely beautiful.
You two don't need me.
But those ham bones.
Oh, yes, my brother.
And then she can lift those ham bones with them legs. So now they look like wide spread yams.
Oh, yes.
And she fought the women's champion.
It's glorious.
And I was hoping that she would crush the women's champion under those ham bones.
Oh, yeah.
But unfortunately, the toxicness got involved. But guess what? Those yams are so holy. They are so graceful. They are so pure. that they could not stop those yam bones from almost beating Mandy Rose. It was a glorious day. Glorious. I won't give in until I see them ham bones.
Yes, my brother.
Woo!
Yes.
Ah.
Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Jesse Stowe.
Oh.
The microphone has been cleansed, my fellas. You can take over.
Oh.
All right.
That was glorious. That was absolutely
glorious. Thank you so
glorious.
much for that.
Are you gonna be able to make it through it now?
How do you follow that?
You don't.
That's a really great question. That's why I love that we do this show off the cuff. How do you follow this? I gotta have some journalistic integrity. All right. So we have
That
new.
was very much so.
It was very respectful.
So the NXT UK titles are being featured with Pretty Deadly versus Brooks and Jensen.
Yes. In a shocking turn of events.
Yes.
They sent Brooks and Jensen over there to win those titles.
Yep. Well, I think they've realized that they're two guys they really want to see, but right now the NXT tag team division, Pretty Deadly's also very far ahead.
It's really heavy in that NXT tag team
Well, and the
division.
thing is that people don't want to admit it, but Pretty Deadly, because they've never watched them, they are so many more light years ahead of most of these teams.
Yeah.
They're arguably the best overall team in NXT
Well, because
right
also
now.
besides, of course, like Trevor, Butch, and Big Strong Boy. Why do I always forget his name? They've been wrestling since they were like 16 years old. So they've been in this game for a long time.
Yeah. But anyway, we also had an issue with. By the way, I'm pretty sure it's been broken. The two druids. That's the Grizzled Young Veterans, basically. When you watch them wrestle, that's the Grizzled Young Veterans.
I'm about to say that the moves. I'm like, damn, that looks like James and what's his face.
James and Zach, isn't it?
Yeah, Zach.
Okay, yeah,
Zach
I
Gibson.
was watching them for the last few, trying to figure out who is under that. Yeah,
I was trying
to figure
from
it
what
out.
I've learned over the last couple of years,
The motherfuckers trying to switch up their moveset.
Yeah.
And then I watched the second tag team match with them.
Okay,
Sorry, guys, I accidentally hit my phone with the Yam Yams. I'm watching that match, and I'm like, you can't hide your moveset.
No.
It's the hardest thing to try to do. Yeah. Randy tried it, and everyone was like, nah, bitch, that's Randy Orton. When he was the mask guy.
Yeah.
No, that's Randy Orton. I'm not beat.
Now, I will say this. It seems like GYV, like they're those guys that they realize they're getting paid pretty well. They get featured enough, I would say. They don't get a lot of accolades, but I think those guys are pretty cool with their spot.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but they seem cool with the spot. Cameron.
I mean, hell, if it gets you back on,
right.
Get you some story, why not?
There we
Cameron
go, yeah.
Grimes. Once again, Jesse is
He
once
turned
again
heel.
looking like a prophet. The dude can make me hate him as much as I
was about to
love
say,
him.
he kind of turned heel, and I wasn't expecting that.
No.
Yeah, it's kind of heelish.
Also, I don't think the buckle was planned.
No.
The buckle was a dangerous spot, too.
Which is why Trevor is fucking brilliant for running him into it again.
Yeah.
So usually, like, because
I did see that, and I was like, I watched it again.
Yeah.
That was the second time it happened.
Yeah,
so I think Trevor heard the pop and was like, "Oh, this shit's ready to blow."
So
luckily, it was later in the show. So
I was told the rumor was it was supposed to come off the first time.
Oh, okay.
So, but Trevor clearly was like, wait, and then he must have heard it and went, "I'm gonna fucking do it again." Now, what was so good about it, and the words are backstage, he did not warn Braun before he was going to do it again.
No.
Braun just thought he's going to run into the top corner, not that one, or the mid corner, and take a shoulder bump. No. I'm running your head straight into that one that's going to break. Now, understandably, those are padded enough.
Yeah,
it shouldn't hurt you too bad usually.
No.
He might win the title this week.
Oh, really?
Well,
I do have the card for the Great American Bash, which is Tuesday. I'll see it Wednesday, but whatever.
Yep. But yeah,
I'm okay with
once again, like I said, Jesse looking like a prophet because Cameron is showing that he can do anything right now. I mean, the guy's just really good, and Jesse is still wondering what the hell Scott was allowing to happen in Impact.
Terrible mistakes were made in TNA.
Clearly.
You want to run down? Should we run down the card for the American Bash that's coming up? Because we were talking about our good old NXT 2.0. All right. As we did allude to that, yes, Braun Breaker versus Cameron Grimes for the NXT Championship. I'm going to love it.
It's going to be a good match.
It's going to be a damn good match.
Whoever wins, it'll be a good match.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Then we have the Women's Tag Team Championship. We have Toxic Trash and their champions, and Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez.
This is the best opportunity, I think, when you look at the story that's been presented of Toxic losing.
It's a 50-50 shot.
I know we've said that before, but I mean, like, once you finally bring in everything and you look at the fact that, okay, Roxanne, they could have easily just given up on Roxanne a couple weeks ago, and then we would have been like, that's WWE for you.
Right.
And they haven't.
Right, that's true.
They haven't.
Right, that's true.
Good match, and I hope to win.
It's also the first big night of matches back with Papa H at the helm. So
There
we go.
He likes to do surprises.
That's true.
He likes them.
The next we have, and this was a swerve given to Carmelo Hayes.
Yep.
Because he signed a piece of paper. Carmelo Hayes against Grayson Waller for the NXT American Championship.
I mean, he's going to whoop Grayson's ass.
Yes.
But I don't know if he's going to win the match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Okay.
Because now they're almost starting to separate him a little bit from Trick Williams.
Yep.
And by the way, clearly, this is not a shot at Grayson, but clearly he's better than Grayson Waller.
Well, but I've said before, arguably, if presented right, Carmelo Hayes could be the biggest star in the business.
Right.
Straight up.
So I do believe, like, the match they're going to book is that Carmelo's going to be wrestling circles around this guy.
Yeah.
He's going to be whooping his ass.
But Grayson's going to get the heat by winning the thing.
Grayson might find a way to cheat and actually win the title.
Yeah.
There we go. It'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Then he got his boy, Trick Williams, is going to go wrestle against Wes Lee.
Oh, this is the one that's a squash. I think Wesley's about to whoop Trick Williams' ass.
Oh, really?
Trick,
You think so?
Yeah.
Trick is one of those.
Because usually especially like in Triple H's crew, including Shawn Michaels, you don't do the babyface constantly beating down over and over before they finally have a match against a heel where they just snap and they squash.
And
Okay.
Trick's one of those great manager type guys where, like, he's a lot like Austin Theory in the sense of, you know what? This ain't even racist. I want to slap the black off of Trick.
He's an asshole.
He's a complete
asshole.
And I say that with all due respect, Trick. But I want to smack the black
and
off.
here's the thing, like, I think what's really awesome about this whole feud is now this is a way to start to get Wesley over even more.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've beaten him, they've had him, just bring up the fact that he lost his best friend so they couldn't go back after the tag titles.
Yep.
Like, it's been really well done by them. Now, I do agree with people, well, maybe you shouldn't have fired. I get that. But it was going to be hard to overcome the Hitler photos.
Much like Disney folks firing someone recently. Sometimes you're just back into a position you just got to fire somebody.
I heard that and I laughed.
Oh, we all did.
Yeah.
I'm all for people still being able to make a living, just not around kids, please. That's all I'm asking. All I'm asking.
I'm half and half on that still, but
This would be a good match. And is it a possible way for them to kind of separate Trick and Carmelo? Possibly.
I think it's an opportunity on a grander stage other than Level Up,
right,
where you get to really sort of see Trick for what he can be.
Right.
Because I think at some point when Carmelo gets to be so heelish that he just drops Trick, I think Trick still has a spot on the roster.
I've actually
I think so too.
I started to see Carmelo go more babyface though.
Well, that's fair.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, here's the thing. You don't get much more heel in NXT but Grayson Waller.
And by the way, folks, for anyone wondering if Jesse's still trying to hype up Grayson Waller, no, the heat from the Gargano thing is still there. Nobody likes this guy. Absolutely.
Like I said, he can no longer go babyface. It cannot happen.
No,
they'll try it and they will fail.
Like you did what you did to Johnny G. Like there's no love for you.
Who, by
homie.
the way, nice troll of all the AEW fans from Johnny.
Well, it wasn't even a troll. He told them, I'm gonna be like 6 blocks away, and my flight is during the show. Like, I'm leaving the same night. Like,
Yep. Idiots.
All
right. Next one we got for the NXT Tag Team Championship.
Also, not to interrupt you, but I think Johnny, he might be the first guy to actually just go back.
He probably will go back.
Because he said through his Gmail he's been taking indie bookings, but he hasn't taken a lot, if any, honestly. And honestly, I don't think, especially with Triple H now back in charge, I don't think he's that angry with them. He never was.
And I think
I think that Johnny just sat there and said, especially after the thing with Cedric, oh my God, my wife actually had a baby. Let's go home and try to be a parent.
Cedric tried to kill a white woman that day. I am still not convinced he was not trying to kill a white woman that day.
250 years of black oppression was taken out of Candace LeRae's
He
lower
said
back.
this is for slavery and all your bullshit. And everyone was like, dude, whoa.
You guys legitimately almost jumped the rail.
Because we were mad at him, but we were, Jesus Christ, she's like 100 pounds soaking wet, dude. Chill.
You gotta be
Candace is just a great seller of the move.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Turns out you guys were the ones who were sold on because she was perfectly fine.
She got us because we were like he was supposed to be the babyface. We all booed him. We're like, you fucking asshole. She's like 100 pounds. What is your problem?
If there's ever a company that will choose who the face and heels are, it's PWG.
Oh, it's PWG.
You guys will choose who you love and who you don't.
Especially mid-match, like, bro, that dude's no more than 90 pounds. Why are you throwing him across the way like that?
All right.
Go ahead.
Well, the next is NXT Tag Team Championship, and this is where the Diamond Mine implodes.
Maybe.
The Creed brothers against Roderick Strong and Damian Kemp.
Maybe.
Is this a title change?
No, because again, regardless of how Roddy feels about everything, which by the way, that quieted down real quick.
Yeah.
It seemed like it did. I think Roddy was just going through a week of just, because every once in a while, if you're not a Roman, a Brock, or a top level person up there, once in a while you kind of realize AEW's having kind of a good week. You kind of have to give their show somewhat credit, despite the rating, and you sit back and go, man, I could be over there. But then after a while, you're like, oh, yeah, no, this is the same shit they've been doing for fucking 3 years, and I'm going to show up, and I'm going to be the fourth most important person in this group.
Right.
Bobby Fish will go above me, and Bobby Fish is hurt. Anyway, am I wrong? You laugh, but am I wrong?
I don't know. That's the problem.
Yeah, but anyway. It's clear. Forget how Roddy feels. They like the Creed brothers.
Okay,
they want to see them. This is a Braun situation. They're not as high as they are with Braun. But they're so high that they want to see them carry this out.
Right.
They want to see if this works. Are they believable? Do they work with the belts? What can happen? That's what they want to see. So I don't think so. If they do, there is a story to be told. I'm not going to deny that.
That's true.
It's kind of a win-win. If they lose, you can make it work. If they win, keep going.
There we go.
Basically how I see it.
Yes, we will see what happens with the Diamond Mine if his diamonds are so strong, if they stay solid. There we go. All right, and then one of Jesse's favorite girls, Wendy Chu against Tiffany Stratton.
My second wife.
Yes.
This could steal the night.
Yes.
This might be one of the first matches.
Yeah, it could be the opening match.
Yeah.
Tiffany has come a long way.
She has. And part of that, I think, is the gimmick. We didn't know where it was going to go, but when you give her someone that is literally the complete opposite of her gimmick, she's really risen to the occasion. She's brought in more to the gimmick.
And I'll say this. Putting her alongside Grayson was a smart thing if you were trying to build her as a heel. Because no one likes this fucking guy. No heels in NXT don't like this guy.
No, nobody wants anything to do with this guy.
Like, dude, you hurt Johnny Gargano, you piece of shit. Like, don't
in a
moment
where everyone was just kind of supposed to give him the floor. And by the way, I think what shocked people the most about that moment, Jesse, going back, he was not the guy I think anyone thought was going to take that moment if they were going to give it to somebody. Like,
oh yeah,
right.
If they get Johnny back, that has to be Johnny's first thing back is to settle that. It has to.
Definitely.
Possibly.
Definitely.
All right.
Definitely. All right,
but yeah, no. Tiffany, a lot of credit. Took a gimmick that even Jesse at the start was like, really. It's kind of believable. I kind of don't hate it.
Yeah.
Right.
So
and then of course Wendy Chu, a gimmick that everyone was like, why?
Dude, I was confused.
And you're just like,
me too, man.
All right.
It's fun.
And then I started to appreciate it because I was like, I'm going to give her a chance because she's great. So I'm going to give her a chance.
And she hit a home run.
And she has made it work.
She hit a home run.
So, boys.
Her fine ass.
Yes. That lovely, as we like to say, the Go Home show on Friday of SmackDown. What did you think of it?
For what it was,
Man.
which was basically them sitting there saying, we don't have 48 hours. We literally are going to give this to you in less than 24 hours. I don't think they put as much effort into it as they were originally planning on doing it.
It was pretty meh.
Becky was good on commentary.
Sure.
The ladies' 6-man was okay. I'm a little bugged that there wasn't more heat between Alexa and Liv. Kind of wish there was more there. But like I said, this might have been a show that was kind of a throwaway because it was only 24 hours away. And they needed to get people on flights back to Vegas and get some sleep.
Sami Zayn's still going to die.
Sami Zayn will die at some point.
Very soon.
The only chance he had to save himself ended when they fucking powerbombed his ass onto a ladder.
Man, Sami's going to die.
Sami is going to die very soon.
Because Roman's not going to be able to get his hands on Brock, so Sami's going to die.
Yeah.
Yep, I did like, and then they added the remainder of
it's going to be a nice cast.
The men's and women.
You know, it's going to have all of his accolades. It's going to have how he's the locker room leader.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be a nice casket.
Yeah.
But he's getting fucking buried in it.
Just FYI, it will not be an open casket.
Oh, probably not.
You don't want to see what Roman's going to do.
No.
You don't want to look at his face.
You know, the exchange between all the guys on the ladders wasn't awful, wasn't terrible.
No.
I love that.
They are still trying to recapture what they did in 2015.
Right. I love that Kevin Owens goes on a rant, and now it's canon that there's a third brother.
Yeah, that's
because that's just going to be gold.
That's just great.
But yeah, wasn't the best show.
No.
The Maxim male model thing is the only chance this has is if LA Knight doesn't get bored of it.
Well, the biggest chance this has is that they're committed to him in this, and to Mansoor and Mace.
Mace and Mansoor. The funniest part about this was
that was the first time I felt like Adam Pearce, where I just wanted to choke him. Because I was just like, I
honestly think the funniest part of this was when Allison looks at Mansoor's new spelling and goes, way too many umlauts, too many dashes. No, we can't do this.
Well, you know, I give credit to both the wrestlers for doing this gimmick. It's very and they embraced it.
I've been meaning to say this. I've been meaning to say this while they were teasing this. Jesse, we just had a conversation last week about a guy who's doing very well, and he just goes with whatever they tell him backstage.
Right.
We really can't hate on this yet because we know the performer that Eli is.
Right.
And also, it's not like Gunther hasn't been featured very well in what he's been doing. Now he comes in with a completely separate gimmick. I mean, we know that. Right. But I hate to say it, but we're in the middle of a time period where, damn it, as much as we hate it, we got to give Vince a little time. We have to. He's been good with some things.
Right.
We like we're forced to sit back and say to ourselves, fuck it, we're gonna give you a couple weeks. Like, we just are. We have no choice.
You kind of have to.
Yeah.
So it was okay. Like I said, it was an okay show.
Yeah.
Wasn't the best.
Nothing overly
worst.
special.
Yeah.
Sonya Deville, I don't really know where that's going yet. But what a potato on Adam Pearce that was.
Probably more punishment.
Yeah.
Probably more beatdowns.
Yeah.
Probably more handicap matches.
This is also a great example as why, once again, please don't let Ronda Rousey speak. This,
guys, I gotta be honest, man. It's her promos since she's been back are terrible.
Do you think, like, honestly, do you think that she's just legitimately not into this like she was the first run?
I don't know, but it's something's off. Something's off because these promos are terrible.
The moment she opens her mouth, Jesse, I don't know what it is, but the emotional state she's in, the inflection, I'm out. I am so far out from the moment she starts speaking. I can't give it time.
Dude, as soon as she starts to run her mouth, I'm like, and I'm gonna go take a piss because it's mush. It's nothing to me.
Yeah,
like I literally can't listen.
I have never seen someone, and I will include all the AEW promos because Cody had a famous one. I've never seen someone say so much and I got nothing out of it.
So, of course, the lead-in, was the Money in the Bank last night.
Yep.
Oh, he's back.
Well, hey, I had to go.
I thought really good show, Money in the Bank. Like I said, I thought there were some major issues in this show. As far as the main event and stuff like that. But I thought otherwise, because I watched it this morning, Leroy. And
you watched? Okay.
Yeah, I watched it because last night I had to work last night, ended up kind of being up to like 10, and I went to bed as soon as I got home.
Yeah, I know. I was running around helping the girlfriend out, and I was like, shit, I gotta get home.
Yesterday I was up at 5 a.m. I did some morning work where I went and delivered like meds to older people and stuff.
Oh,
and
okay.
Stuff like
Well,
that.
that's good.
But I was like, okay, I've been driving this van all day, and I'm paying for it today because now my leg feels a little stiff. But I was just like, you know what? I'll watch the replay in the morning because I thought maybe they might have it up, replay ready. But they don't work. Peacock does not work as fast as WWE Network did.
Come on.
But this morning it was ready to go at 6:30. But it was ready to go.
The cock had it ready at 6.
Yeah, the cock had it ready.
Come on there.
So
the cock has to work better.
I watched it. I definitely enjoyed. I definitely will say I enjoyed all of it. We're gonna get to some of the issues, but I'm thinking we start with the opening match.
Well, I have everything right here.
Oh, perfect.
Okay,
let's go.
Yeah. All right.
He was ahead of the game for us.
Yeah, I just missed one thing that I had to print out real quick, but
yeah,
it's all right. First match, opening match of the night was the women's Money in the Bank ladder match with Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Becky Lynch, Lacey Evans, Raquel Rodriguez, and Shotzi.
Raquel looks good in red. That's all I gotta say.
One thing.
What was with all the red and pink in this match?
Before we get started on the match, and there's a lot of good stuff. There was some slop stuff, and we'll get to it.
Yeah.
So is Becky Lynch trying to Megazord her way into a championship? Is Becky Lynch trying to morph her way into a title? Is she trying to morph her and her husband into title matches?
I thought it was a little low-key-ish at the beginning, but I think the more you got into it, the more you saw the Megazord.
If she's trying to low-key her way in, that the TVA ain't coming to save her. What the fuck was she wearing?
Both of them guys wear the most her and
Seth
wear the most interesting outfits.
TVA did not give a shit about these two.
Nope.
Kang will kill them both. Like I don't know what they were wearing tonight.
All right.
Jesse just diving deep into the next phase. Of
right into the MCU. Showing my nerdiness. Jay's take will be back soon, by the way.
There we go.
But yeah, she comes out because, by the way, she's the first one out.
She was,
and I went, okay, I'm interested to see what she's wearing. And as she comes out, I'm like, she's a Power Ranger.
Yep.
I'm like, didn't we all kill MVP in the early 2000s or the late 2000s?
Power Ranger.
And then it was so funny that Taz just died alive. He's like, damn this crowd, because it was just we couldn't help it. He looked like the Blue Power Ranger.
He did.
Well, yes, he did.
Yeah.
I don't know and I know that they're nerds, so they like to have a lot of hidden stuff in there, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Guys, it's okay to just wear normal wrestling attire.
It is,
yeah, it really is.
I'm just saying. Right. Now, into the match.
Asuka died slowly.
Well, she's not dead. I've offered her a back massage for what happened.
Oh, that's good.
Head massage. Kana-chan will be okay. But Raquel was trying to kill her. She didn't die for lack of Raquel trying. And Becky at that.
Yeah.
Becky almost took out a full boob. So when Becky went to go hit they're nice, by the way. Let's get that comment out the way.
Whose boobs are we referring to?
Asuka's.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, so Becky goes to go hit the leg drop.
Overshot it.
Right. And kind of landed her butt right on the boob.
But
oops.
I want people to remember this spot for another reason. And I'll just say this, because this is something that has been brought up many times, both on the booking of overall AEW and the booking of a certain tag team that we still can't find any information on. God, our research.
I know.
So someone just told me they're actually from California.
Okay, all right. We're in California. We'll work on that.
I'll have to find that out.
Okay, yeah. But anyway.
All right, we'll get them on it again.
Notice something. Notice how far up the ladder Becky went.
Right.
And then wait for the main event, because then there was a moment that only happened once.
Right.
And got a pop, because it only happened once.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's going to be a long few years on this show trying to figure out how to get around this, but I guess we're going to do it.
Like I said, if you guys know who they are and you can figure them out, you guys tell me.
Yeah.
Because I don't give a shit. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought...
And by the way, our good friend Eric tried. He really did.
I'm past the point of giving a shit now. Yeah.
All right.
I'm not joking, Leroy. Eric actually tried.
Yeah, he tried.
That was the one part of last week's show Eric was...
It ain't going to work.
There we go.
I'm done with it.
So,
yeah, I thought for the most part the ladies did a really good job.
Yeah.
And
Shotzi looked a little overexcited.
I think
that's
all I'm gonna let it be nerves. I'm gonna give Shotzi nerves.
I watched it this morning. In my head I went, I'm gonna give her a pass.
Yeah.
It was probably nerves.
But the other AEW comparison that again is worth mentioning because, like I said, we're talking about a show that does better, numbers. Okay.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Nothing in this match was so over the top that you would think to yourself, okay, the guys basically have to run themselves over with a car to top it. It seemed like a match where nobody attempted to, because if Sami Zayn wants to do something stupid on the ladder, we know Sami Zayn can do something stupid on the ladder.
He'll just do that.
Oh, yeah.
But nobody in this match attempted something where I said to myself, well, okay, how are you going to top that? Everything seemed like a legitimate, okay, the ladders are there, but they're part of the act type of deal. Right. Whereas in AEW, it's like, well, we just jumped off a 40-foot ladder. Now we have to jump onto chairs on a 40-foot ladder. Now we have to kill Jeff Hardy with a 40-foot ladder. Nothing here escalated too far to the point where now I'm again the visual of wrestling still exists and will always exist, and nothing was egregious here for the visual. But that crowd popped. They really, really did. Now I want to be very clear because I've said this numerous times.
Liv Morgan getting the belt. Getting the briefcase.
She
it was
almost
awesome.
didn't, and here's why.
Oh, okay.
Go back and watch that spot of how she got there. Ladies and gentlemen, WWE has a lot of really highly trained professional wrestlers. But I want to be very clear about something. She misses that rope or that ladder doesn't come back up, Becky Lynch wins because Vince McMahon is not the kind of guy who says, okay, find a way to get the same finish in. No. There was a backup finish, and Vince McMahon was back there very nervously holding on to his microphone set being like, please don't fuck this up because that is not an easy spot.
No.
Because those ropes, there's a little give, but the problem is, and we all know from putting them up, if you push off it too hard, they'll push back.
Yes, they do.
Oh, God, yes.
Folks, hats off to Liv because that was not an easy spot to pull off.
I think she probably wouldn't talk to Kofi because Kofi's done
right.
a lot of these spots.
Yeah.
And which is a great person to talk to. Hey, how do you balance on these ropes? And I'm sure he kind of gave really good advice, did some practicing. She did it very smoothly. I was impressed.
But here's the deal. When you know...
But poor Lacey Evans.
Oh, jeez.
And I think Liv really was trying to get her to hit the lower back, the swole.
Yeah.
But Lacey's so much taller than her.
Yeah.
That as they went over, she took it high.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, I felt it in my own shoulders.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, poor thing.
It was a good start to the night, and and again, I think
weird thing happened though for Lacey. She started getting booed anytime she was close, and I don't to the briefcase, and I don't know why.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well,
that was odd to me.
Well, this was a Vegas crowd, and I mean Vegas crowds, they kind of try to pull an Izod all the time. If you go back and watch a lot of the shows, they tend to try to take it over, do their own little thing. I don't know. We'll see what happens when they get into much more patriotic American country, because she'll be featured
there we go.
on Monday. Oh, come on.
It's
the WWE.
I know.
Did you just call Las Vegas not patriotic?
Well, gambling's legal, and the U.S. doesn't want it to be legal. So I mean, what else can I say?
There's a lot of drunk sluts out there.
That's a great thing. So, sorry, I almost went off on a tangent.
That's my job this week. Apparently.
There we go.
I felt bad for her because I was like, I don't know if she'll be able to finish the match. That's because as Duff once talked about, when because people asked him, well, would you rather take the powerbomb again from Roman or the RKO from the top from from Randy. He was like, well, Randy's also risking something taking the RKO. Luckily for me, it's mostly my chest and hands.
Right, yeah.
Randy also actually has to take a back bump on that.
Yeah.
The power bomb from that high isn't fun because you want to land on the swell of your back.
Yeah.
And
you
the
do.
same thing happened to him with Roman, and all Roman was doing was just kind of doing a power bomb just to kind of throw him on the swell of his back. But he landed high, and he's like, that's kind of the worst pain to feel because you start to feel a little numb in the arms.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're ready to X you out if that's the point, if that's what happened.
Yeah.
But you still want to finish the match. So, so I felt bad for Lacey because I was like, that's not a fun bump to take for someone who just had a kid. I mean, isn't terrific shit coming back, but that's a rough bump.
Well,
to take.
but remember, from the medical standpoint, the body still went through a very traumatic thing and does need kind of a slow down. I know a lot of girls that I went to high school with. They're now recently having kids, and they're like, I feel great at pregnancy. Yeah, but you don't have to go fall on a ladder. Like, I mean, you literally just have to carry the kid from the crib to the to the baby chair. So sweetie, congratulations on being a parent. I know it's a traumatic event to your body, and being a mom's the hardest job in the world, but being a mom while doing that's a whole nother ballgame that you ain't involved in. So,
like we kind of alluded to earlier, I hope Shotzi gets another chance at a ladder match. I've seen her do better in hardcore matches.
I honestly went back and I researched before you got here this morning. I think Shotzi just has a real nerve issue.
Probably, but
I've gone back and I've looked at a lot of her first time type stuff, and Shotzi just seems like she gets nervous a lot.
That could be. Don't blame her. I mean,
we're not going to see anyone go up to her like Brandy Rhodes did and said, "What do you need so you don't have a panic attack on live television?" That ain't going to happen. But, all right. But yeah,
great match.
Great match for Liv. Obviously, I think
did not see that coming.
No, but I will say this:
winning.
Yeah. I think
I was pulling for her to win.
Yeah, I think the decision of what she did with the case, which we'll get to, was decided in the moment because they realized they had that crowd hot for her.
I gotta believe, and we'll talk. We'll talk about.
Yeah,
we'll
get into
that.
It.
That's a couple more matches. All right, next one, we had Bobby Lashley. Killing Mr. Theory and winning the battle.
He whooped Theory's ass.
That was.
I'll say it for you. I know you got the babies around. You're a good family man.
That's they've heard worse.
He gave that boy an ass whooping of a lifetime. Now Theory got some offense in. Don't get me wrong.
It was an 11-minute match there. Yeah, he did good.
But Theory got his ass whooped.
Yes, he did.
He got submitted,
and he should have got his ass whooped.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley is a main eventer. Bobby Lashley is excellent at what he does. He is the almighty.
He's also randomly over, as we talked about.
Thank you, Chicago.
Chicago.
There we go.
Because remember, Jesse said live on the show, guys, y'all know he's from Colorado and not from here, right? Because they gave him like a hero as well. Yeah. That was a CM Punk style. Right. Okay, maybe not that bad, but it was in the realm of like.
I was like, you guys know he's from Denver, right?
They didn't care. They love him.
Bobby looked great.
Got a good win.
Yep.
Theory, of course, and we'll get to him later. It comes back to the picture.
Yep.
But yeah, he whooped Theory's ass.
Theory and Liv had long nights. Let's just put it that way.
I kind of semi-predicted more of a squash, but yeah.
Yeah, no,
he did. He whooped Theory's ass. Like, I was watching that match, and I'm like, how did Vince go about telling Theory, hey, you're going to get some offense in, but Bobby's mostly going to toss you around like a rag doll.
Yeah.
So just bump and sell.
Pretty much.
That's about it. Oh, yeah. All right. And the next one we have up is for the Raw Women's title with Bianca Belair winning over Carmella by pinfall.
They're taking this into – that's not only negative. It looks like they're taking this into SummerSlam, and I don't know why.
Because Rhea's probably still out.
Get somebody else. Doudrop, Shayna. Shayna's on SmackDown. Fucking Vacant.
No. Don't worry. She's fine.
I didn't even feel her behind me.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'll go hug her later. But it just, Carmella is a filler competitor.
Yeah.
For a reason. we've seen what happens when she's a woman's champion. It gets real boring, real dull, real repetitive, real soon.
Yeah.
Quick. And listen, I like Carmella.
Yes.
Like, key word there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Corey Graves, like, is the key word that you cheated on your wife for her. Okay?
Yeah.
We're moving this now to SummerSlam. I mean, hell, you could. Hey, Trish, we're gonna give you $2 million to just do a feud with Bianca Belair for fucking Nash.
And now that the negative is out, I want to get to my opening statement, which is all positive.
Okay.
This black girl's the most over person in professional wrestling.
She's
holy fuck.
She's also the most athletic wrestler.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm just done with the argument now. She's the most athletic pro wrestler on the planet. It's not even close.
And I want to repeat to all the old dead white folk that are sitting in a grave, this young black lady is the most over person in sports entertainment because everyone fucking loves her.
She's incredible. She is incredible.
And to think that I actually agree with, I think it was Taker said this. To think she's only scratching the surface of what she could be.
Yeah.
The problem is I don't know how you ever turn her heel. She was a great heel, don't get me wrong. Yeah, she was in NXT.
People forget she never won the NXT Women's title. She was a heel.
No. I watched her live as a heel. She was good.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. That girl has a smile that goes from Knoxville County to Las Vegas.
Well, Knoxville County right now needs somebody positive because Kane has put himself in a terrible position.
We'll get to that maybe another day. Maybe.
Well,
we'll deal with that another day.
That's his own thing. Whatever.
Let me tell you something.
Let it slide.
That girl.
He said one tweet became the most hated heel once again, and it's not even 2003.
No.
Yeah.
This girl, folks. The only way you don't mess her up is you just don't stop doing whatever you're doing. Like, I mean, she is in another stratosphere. And that's why it's so hard for me to actually think of more than 3 people that could be her opponent at any given time because she has skyrocketed to a level that, I mean, how do you build anyone to beat her right now? I mean... and again, Jesse, it's no one's fault. She just somehow came out of nowhere and became the most beloved person.
Well, here's the thing. I will give Vince credit on this.
I've said before, if her and Montez actually have a baby, that baby wins the genetic lottery.
That baby's going to be heavyweight champion at 20 if they have a baby.
Yeah, I do agree.
20 months.
Vince will put it in his decree in death. Stephanie, you make sure that fucking kid wins when he's 20, or he or she is 20. WWE Championship.
Yep.
The youngest world champion
ever.
And they'll do it.
They'll fucking do it, too.
Yeah.
We'll be 60 going, yeah, we called this like 40 years ago.
Yeah, no, we did. But yeah, I mean...
60, I'll be like 90.
I mean, you're 90 now. I see you got me doing it.
See, there you go.
To your point, though.
I've been around for thousands of years. I'll still be around.
I was doing so much better.
You were.
You're a terrible influence.
I am. I really am. You're not much better. You're a Jets fan.
Well, that's pain. That does not influence people to do terrible things.
Yeah.
Unless you want to cry.
I don't know. You have a lot of stories of what you do after Jets games.
I mean, but they earn that. But we move on.
But back to your point.
There we go.
But yeah, it's just she's such a special talent. They might end up in the John Cena position with her.
Yeah, I was literally thinking, you literally took the words out of my mouth. They are approaching Cena territory with her overness.
By the way, funny to have her talk with Cena when he, because I'm like, man, I feel bad for her because I think in 2 years, she's so great.
Yeah.
That some of the hardcores might turn on her.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna be like, God damn, I'm tired of seeing her win. But I'll be the curmudgeon at that point, going guys, I gotta be honest, I don't know how she does it. She's just so much better than everybody else. She just does this so perfectly.
And you want to know the craziest effing part? Because I thought they would have lost this after 2 months on the main roster. She does it with that hair effortlessly. It never gets in the way.
No,
yeah, it's incredible.
God damn. Is that her actual hair, too?
Yeah.
It is. It is her hair. Oh, yeah.
Apparently, after 3 inches, the rest isn't extension.
Well, I've always been... Well, because Jesse... Well, because Jesse, I've always wondered, and this is a really serious thing. When it comes to especially black women's hair, that always seems to be something that a lot of it tends to be not. I don't want to say not real, but it's definitely more styled than like say a Caucasian hair.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. No. So after 3 inches, I believe I've been told is where after because she talked about it. After 3 or 4 inches, the rest is an extension.
Okay.
And then the whip you hear when she's whipping them with it is rubber bands, which is why like poor Sasha had those fucking welts on her.
Yeah.
Well, the end looks when you see it, it does look like rubber band.
Yeah.
Right.
It does look because it's very tight at the end.
Yeah,
so yeah.
But yeah, like again, and I will say it for a third time because I'm enjoying saying it to the old curmudgeon white folk that are dead. That black girl is the most over person in all of fucking sports entertainment.
And now I'm almost, like I said, I'm fearful there might be an Cena situation in 2 years.
They may have to, quote, do some bullshit, take the title off, and then let her go do some movies or TV for a bit. Get her off camera because y'all might be overexposing faster than you think you are.
But I get why she's so good.
I agree.
I said the easiest way for her to lose the title, to get her off, is most likely a triple threat or 4-way,
or just like a Charlotte,
or just some It's either a multi-person match, a big star like Charlotte, or some crazy bullshit that pisses everybody off.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the only way they can do it.
a year ago.
And Jesse, despite you laughing at it, you had to eat some crow because I told you they were going to fix it.
I was still pissed.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I told you they'd fix it.
By the way, speaking of why Carmella's a filler, didn't even get the chance to have the match at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't like that. I'm gonna let it play out.
Yeah.
But I'm just like,
well, it's like I thought SummerSlam was going to be in August. It's
by the way,
at the end of the month.
Right. By the way, I'm getting real close to your wife there. If I see him, I think I might fucking throw something at Corey Graves. Because, like, the over-gawking at his own wife in the match is annoying.
Yeah.
Like,
Although Byron is getting some great comebacks in, and Byron's becoming a much more fun commentator.
Oh, yes.
It's almost like he's legit just over it sometimes when he says things. It's just and the best part is that Jimmy is just in the middle, like, I don't know what the fuck to do, guys.
There's nothing he can really say. He's just like, I'm just a straight guy, so I just got to call the match.
Yeah,
like,
basically.
I got nothing to say.
But yeah, anyway, next match.
Next match, we have the tag team match with Usos defeating the Street Profits with a little controversy.
Match of the night, match of the year, tag team match of
any
company.
So fucking great.
This match.
I thought
I
thought the Profits were going to win like twice.
Yeah,
but hold on, that's my point. Before we move on,
my God.
Vince did it again.
Yes.
This motherfucker gives me a match that I know from over 350 plus days of booking. I know how it's going to end, and he still fucking got me.
Yeah.
He still fucking got me popping for Street Profits when I knew they weren't going to win this motherfucking match.
Old cringy bastards.
I knew it wasn't going to happen, and he still got me out of my chair.
Claire called it. She said Usos are going to win. I'm like, shush.
Which, again, I knew, but God.
You're right. Like, you almost knew it was going to I'm like, there's no way they're going to lose him at Money in the Bank. Maybe SummerSlam, but not Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
but,
I know. I thought, well, they said, hey, end of the month.
And the controversy.
That finisher, like I said, I'm a mark. You got me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was real or not.
Because even the commentators were asking for the truck to play it again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then they kind of let the camera stay on the Profits.
Yeah.
Who were almost arguing, dude just effed up. Like, he didn't even get his shoulders down.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wait, what? What? And it's funny because of, and we'll get to theory later.
Yeah.
That's all people were talking about.
Yeah.
This was, to me, the most incredible thing on the show.
Yeah.
I think this is definitely going to SummerSlam. And speaking of theory, I do have some theories about SummerSlam because of the show.
But I will say before we leave this match, they did about 5 to 10 minutes gawking over the transformation of Montez Ford, but you need to. He looked like he ate the original Montez Ford in this match.
Yes.
I know people are worrying about if they're going to break them up or not. And I keep telling people, you can totally New Day these two.
Yeah.
And say if it's not working completely, you can just bring them back together. But I wouldn't break them up yet until you gave them that title run.
I agree.
And then afterwards, okay, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
And
to be fair, they've given these guys a great shake on the main roster.
But I do think that Angelo Dawkins has a better chance than I think a lot of people are giving him.
Well, absolutely.
He's great. Oh, yeah, I love him.
Because he can talk.
He really can talk.
Yes.
The singles matches.
He can't tell jokes.
Decent.
Madcap proved that. But,
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
Tess is kind of the favorite right now. He's the Shawn Michaels favorite, which I think if I remember what match is next, there was a Shawn Michaels thing in here.
Yeah.
But next match.
That was one of the long. It was that was one of the longest matches besides the
Money in the Banks.
The men's Money. Yeah. 20,
and by the way,
23 minutes for that match.
And by the way,
damn good. Wow.
And by the way. Again, I got to bring y'all up in AEW. I do. I'm sorry because it's an indie issue that I have with every company. They kicked out of the Street Profits finisher.
Sure.
Okay. Kind of discredits it, but the match went so long, no one cared. The Usos hit their finisher once.
Yep. And it was done.
So their finisher was at least kept safe.
Yeah.
But maybe not. You can now, because of the footage, you can now argue.
That is true.
Maybe
that is
not.
true.
But remember, he didn't kick out because Corey Graves kind of covered it by admitting, I don't think Montez was kicking out, but I think that Jimmy or Jay, I forget who did the I think it was Jay. Jay overheld the arm, pulled the shoulder up himself.
Yeah.
So there's the controversy. But my point is that the visual is still the Usos needed one, Street Profits needed more. So,
Sure.
Again, it's the visual that I'm done having the argument with the AEW side of the fence. The visual matters, and again, much like Corey said in the DPW discussion post, and God bless our boy Corey, I'm done talking to people who are like, I'm going to complain, but yet I still watch.
Right.
Shut up, Internet.
There we go.
If you watch, go ahead and complain. But understand something. At least admit you're still going to watch the damn thing.
There we go.
Jesse complains a lot about what some people do, but he still watches.
That's just because I love pro wrestling and I'm stupid. Go ahead.
Anyway.
Yes. All right. I understand and I agree with myself. The same. Not you being, but me being stupid and loving wrestling.
I love pro wrestling too much, and that's my problem.
We should get Jesse some help.
See,
next match.
I'm dumb. That's why I have a girlfriend, and that's why he has a future wife, so it helps him out.
We'll get Jesse some help, and that's where I end.
There we go.
Go ahead.
There we go. Then we had
a prostitute.
Well, okay.
We ruined my intro, but hey,
wow.
All
right. We had the SmackDown Women's Championship with Ronda Rousey submitting
and
Natalya.
This is where it gets clunkier than fucking shit.
This
was the old boiler that needs a tune-up. This is what this was. Which is weird because these two know each other very well.
They trained together for a year.
Yep.
It was. Yeah, I don't understand some of this stuff.
Did Ronda take
I don't
kayfabe too seriously again?
Maybe.
It's possible she was accidentally overselling.
No. Did she take the comments about her and her family a little too seriously again?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because this is Natty. This is supposed to technically be her best friend.
Yeah.
This is not like a Becky. This is not a Rebecca and Ashley situation.
Yeah.
Where it is clear, like when Becky got over, there became some real fucking issues between those two.
Which I blame Ashley for.
Absolutely. But, this was sloppy. Now, there's one thing I want to give Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
The Shawn Michaels flex while doing the sharpshooter got 2 thumbs up in my book.
I did say that. I was like,
Vegas crowd even popped for okay, that's.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, that's a good time to do it. That was pretty good.
Yep.
That was pretty good.
Yep.
Now, of course, she fucking fell.
Yeah.
Before fucking Natalya got to the ropes. But I was just like, okay. If you were still a heel, this would be a good heel tactic to do the Shawn Michaels flex while holding sharpshooter. Especially if they were in Canada, would have gotten you booed.
Oh God, yes.
Might have gotten you in a fight too.
Like
most likely.
I don't know how many people would actually try to fight Ronda. I don't know if that's
Canadians
smart.
drink some good beer.
Yeah, but they're usually very polite drunks.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
But yeah,
Now Wisconsin, they're not polite.
They're also losers here.
We don't drink real beer in America.
But yeah, I don't know how this match ended up so damn sloppy.
It was. I mean, just watch. I'm like,
there were points where, like I said, there were moments where I'm just like, okay, what is happening? I had nothing for this.
Because one would fall, the other one pick up, then the other would fall.
This is the worst match of the night.
I don't know.
By a mile.
Yeah.
And you know what? The results might have been what happened next.
Yep, because then
we had a match added to the card.
After good old Ronda was trying to get up, somebody's music hits, and here comes Liv with her briefcase.
And they popped.
And they did.
They did pop.
And we watched Liv Morgan run to the ring because, of course, her music says "Watch me." Her cliche is "Watch me."
Yep.
And I'll watch you anytime you want. There's something.
Yes.
Bo has a brother, and I love the brother, but he also freaks me out a little bit. And I miss him.
Yeah.
And I miss his brother. I don't miss Bo, but I miss his brother.
Yeah, I do.
We all do.
But yeah,
and no, that was not a Fiend promo as much as we want it to be.
That was Edge.
That was
Edge. I was looking at that promo trying to figure it out.
That was Edge.
And then somebody said, it was Edge.
As soon as I saw when I watched it again, I'm like, did that say Latino Heat? And then I saw the gold medal. I'm like, this is Edge.
Yeah.
This is Edge.
That's Edge.
Because they could have did. I mean, if there was no like gold medal, no Latino Heat, it was the Hardys thing and a couple other things and a ton of lighting. I'd have this could be Bray. Matt and Jeff.
A lot of people thought it was Gable at first. No, Gable has not confirmed he's going back to the University of Minnesota. That was a rumor.
No. He's almost done with his people forget. Remember,
he's training with our boy Rampage.
Right. So he said.
I know.
He said, "I want to finish my schooling. I want to maybe do the finish the Olympics thing.
Yep.
And I want to train for at least a year before I come up.
Yeah. And he's done everything so far.
And you know what?
The year isn't up yet.
Right.
You should reach out to Rampage and do a little video chat about him training.
Not sure.
I have.
I'm not sure how much of that he's allowed to talk about.
You can see. I don't know how much you can, but that'd be kind of fun.
I reached out to Rampage. Interviews coming soon, and news about interviews and us going live again on Sundays coming tomorrow. But I have reached out about that, but yeah, I knew immediately it wasn't Stevenson.
They also got me and Allison here because I actually thought they were going to squash Liv.
When she first came in there, and then she kind of
when the hand hit
slipped.
3, Allison, I'll tell you, I jumped off the couch and I pumped my fist, man. Like they got me. They really did.
They didn't get me in the sense of like, because I'm like, there's no way she's gonna tap.
Ronda, you mean?
Yeah. Well, I knew there was no way Ronda was gonna tap her in that situation. Yeah. I knew that was a good way though to get people going. Like, oh no.
Yep.
Oh, no, she came out to cash, and she's about to get fucking tapped out real quick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I think she's going to find a way to pin her. Because now, like, Ronda was selling, she could barely stand on that knee. And of course, and then she got the schoolgirl roll up and got the win.
Which is, by the way, I know.
Seeing what Ronda did afterwards let me know this was planned before the show.
Right, yeah. But my whole thing about it is that I also think the schoolgirl is a nice way to let Ronda walk away not bad. Ronda doesn't look as bad as if Liv had hit a finisher.
Well,
or
apparently,
like that.
And Dave Meltzer has confirmed it, and the sources I went and talked to this morning before coming over.
Yeah.
It's going to be Liv versus Ronda at SummerSlam.
Okay, yeah.
Not a bad idea.
No.
For a first opponent,
yep.
You win against an opponent like this with no shenanigans.
Yeah.
Now you've put Liv in a very, very, very good spot.
Well, and the other thing about it is that when you have someone like Ronda Rousey who's so her aura is built on competition, she can't get mad. Like, I mean, you picked the perfect spot.
Right.
You really did.
Well, I know some people thought it would happen after Carmella attacked Bianca.
Well, which is why I think that was a nice tease for it.
Right.
But
as I watched the attack, I started to think that's not what they're going for here.
Yeah.
I think they want to push this feud to SummerSlam. And then my heart went, oh, God, I got to listen to Corey for 4 more weeks. Damn it.
But yeah, no, when I saw what happened with Ronda there, and I'm like, oh, geez. And I thought so, too. I was like, oh, we might get a cash in.
Before we get to the men's Money in the Bank,
yep.
let's just get this out the way quickly.
All right.
Vegas, you had every right to boo that little in-promo commercial. It was stupid. It was so fucking dumb. WWE, can you guys stop doing these stupid integrations sometimes? Because you do them really poorly sometimes. And sometimes you get your wrestlers hurt for like 8 months.
Yeah.
Come on. Now you do them better than other companies. AEW, you're one of them. New Japan, you're damn sure one of them. But like, because she came in with the Lily doll, and you heard a pop because everyone's like, and once again, because of the rumors about Bray, people
to
are
quote
like,
Gene, the Fiend died for that commercial.
I bought some stuff. I used the card. You used the card, and then she starts promoting the card. I literally started laughing out loud, and then I heard, because people were like, dude, I've never heard a crowd boo a commercial. And then, like, I'm listening, I'm like, I get why they booed it. This was fucking dumb.
I don't think we were ever supposed to take it seriously, but yeah, it passed.
And then the little roller skates. I'm like, oh my, you should check my size next time. Like, oh boy.
Anyway, now it's on to the men's.
The men's with
Money in the Bank, which was surprisingly, I think, one of the least spot festy Money in the Banks they've had in a while.
Because they built it around big ass Omos.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So we had
he got a lot of screen time.
Start the match. We had Drew, Madcap Moss, Omos, Riddle, Sami Zayn, Seth freaking Rollins, and Sheamus, and then
Adam Pearce.
Before they started the match, Adam Pearce came out and said, "Okay, we're in Vegas.
We're gonna raise the stakes.
We're gonna raise the stakes, double down." And here comes out Theory to add an 8th person. Am I right? Yeah, 8 people.
Yep. Yeah. It was
to the match. They at Omos beginning exactly what I thought that he would be. He'd be like throwing everybody around and stuff, and they had to team up to take him out. They did.
He didn't
black, white, he didn't Pakistani, Canadian.
It didn't matter.
Terrorist from fucking hell, Mumbai, German, French. If you're 7'6", you will get a push in WWE.
7'3".
Whatever. As long as you're over 7 feet, you will get a push. I was bored.
Okay.
I was fucking bored. Because I've been watching the match, and I'm watching how they built it around him, and I go, damn it, Vince, really? Did you have to have your wet dream here? Like, I know you once talked about on the Howard Stern show how you once tried to convince Linda back in the 80s to have sex with a black dude. So you've got these weird obsessions. That's fine. But this, I don't need to watch you jerk off when I'm watching pro wrestling. And that's what it felt like.
Did you see Sammy when they're doing what? He was hiding behind the one post.
Sammy plays a great coward.
That I was sitting there.
Sami Zayn is an underrated genius man.
I was sitting there. I'm
That's
like,
all he is.
I'm just like, well, there's Sam. Oh, he's hiding. He's waiting for his
Didn't
moment.
help him for too long.
No.
Got his ass whooped.
Yeah,
he got some good spots in there trying to get up there.
Yeah.
And, oh my God.
They could also be setting up the fact that Drew is probably going to fight Omos at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Because this is the one time if you wanted to do cross-branded matches, you can do it pretty easily. Besides Money in the Bank. So
yeah.
Because Drew was the only one to actually be able to put him down a couple times.
Yeah.
But I was just sitting there and I'm like, this is a Vince McMahon wet dream. This 7'4" black dude just running shit. Now clearly he's not going to win.
No.
What fucking ladder does he fit on?
None.
But,
None. Well, he can get on them, but he doesn't have to go all the way up.
Yeah, but the visual that Vince.
I'll say it because it does not sound racist coming from me.
That's fair.
He's fucking King Kong is what he was in this match.
Oh, yeah.
He's this big thing climbing a building. Now, some people, if it was one of you guys, they'd be like, oh, why is a white guy saying a big black guy looks like King? I'll say, he does look like fucking King Kong on a ladder. That's why Vince wanted him in the match. Okay? I get it. It's fine. It's a Vince wet dream. It just bored me to death.
And I thought it was funny that Butch showed up, and then they made a comment. I was like, it was trying hard to get Butch down, try to keep him. I was like, you know how you stop Butch? Claymore.
You know what's
That's
funny?
true.
You know what's funny? I don't know if anyone in the IWC has officially turned around yet. Allison's liking Butch as Butch. She doesn't care that it's not Pete Dunne anymore.
He's fine. I like him.
He's been fine from the get-go. But again, the IWC is why change the name, and it's like, whatever.
Trying to rip off. He's like a rabid little Wolverine.
He's a rabid little drunk British man.
Yeah. Which is exactly what he's supposed to be.
By the way, which is only half a play on what he actually was, which is a rabid little British man.
Exactly. He's just drunk now.
But yeah, it's fine. Theory 1. Here's my theory on Austin and all that shit.
Okay.
There is a chance Vince is doing this at SummerSlam.
Oh, yeah.
Because think about the match. Brock and Roman are having a last man standing.
They're going to kill each other.
One of them ain't standing at all, and the other one's going to be too weak to barely hold himself up.
Yeah.
So he's going to have both. They're not going to split it at this time,
I think they're going to put both on Theory. Now, I think what will happen, though, is at Cardiff is when they'll split them again.
Yeah.
Because then they'll have Drew.
But at this point, again, if there's one thing that the internet agrees on, it's the Vince Russo thing. But the other thing is that right now, in the now, we all agree Drew's winning something at that castle.
Oh, he's winning something at that show.
That'll be a huge pop.
Even if it's ass, he's winning.
Yes.
Well, he has a lovely wife.
He'll have 3 more when he's done. But whatever they're trying to book, he's winning.
So what did you think of the lovely Riddle RKO?
Riddle's great.
Off the ladder?
I don't know if he can have a bad match.
He's awesome.
I'm about to say I don't know if he's capable of a mediocre match.
Yeah.
Well, when he was up there too before Theory got it, I was like, oh my God, they're gonna give it to him. And then I'm like, no, don't give it to Theory. And then
But the character Riddle has had a really rough 4 months.
Really has.
He's lost all of his titles. He lost Randy.
He's lost some skin,
and then
some skeletal mass
because of the bloodline. He lost to Roman, and technically wasn't going to be able to challenge for the title anyway.
Wasn't supposed to be on the SmackDown showcase.
No, so
yeah.
He's had a rough go. Poor guy.
Yep. By the way, I also want to on this show right here, if you're listening, and if you're one of these people, I need to make this very clear. Stop making the rumors on something's going to happen at SummerSlam between Riddle and Randy Orton. Randy Orton ain't coming back for the rest of the year. Like, there is no freaking way.
I'll just report to you now. If he comes back, it'll be after the Rumble. Unfortunately, the back injury is insanely serious. He needs 2 surgeries on his back.
Yeah.
So
and I have back issues, and it takes you out.
Yeah.
And he's 42 now.
Yeah, he's old.
He's
old.
He's up almost my age. My back hurts.
So yeah, I hate to break everyone's heart, but there's a reason. There's a reason it's Lesnar again at SummerSlam. I know everyone's mad about it.
Yeah.
But there's a reason because it was supposed to be Randy at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But the moment the doctors told WWE, guys, he needs 2 surgeries, not 1.
Well, the biggest problem was that, let's be honest,
they made a phone call.
They put all of Raw on the back of Rated RKO, and Randy's back because he's older, just couldn't take it anymore. Because
he was carrying Raw.
He was.
They both were for a good 2 months there.
And to be fair, so did Seth.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, after Mania, so did Cody. And when Cody comes back, it will be Cody. Which is why he had the torn pec. It wasn't because he was working out. It was because he ended up carrying a main flag show on WWE.
That's hard work, man. It's
hard work. Who should have never listened to any of you and given up his right to be World Heavyweight Champion in a certain company. But we won't divulge.
And he's doing better now.
You big dumbasses.
Well, they can be that way.
Big, dumb, stupid dumbasses.
All right. Well, I will definitely say this. Overall ratings for Forbbiden Door.
So, for the 2 pay-per-views, for Forbbiden Door, I know people are going to be a little non-shocked, but I will give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And I gave Money in the Bank a 3.8. I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah.
Just because, like I said, Theory winning wasn't the problem for me like everyone else is. It was because it really felt like a 70-year-old man was jerking off in my wrestling match, and I couldn't take it. And I couldn't watch it with his big cojones, the genetic jackhammer.
Jesse's
Wow.
Jesse's hypocriticalness is coming out because if there was a match between Asuka and Nikita Lyons.
First of all, okay, don't you dare compare the genetic jackhammer to Kana-chan and Miss Hambones. Okay?
Well, wow. I would need a carton of cigarettes after that, I think.
A carton. They might as well inject me with this shit when I'm done.
Edibles are now legal in Minnesota based on 10
It
calories.
ain't gonna be enough. It ain't gonna be enough.
That's the best news story of all time. Too bad Jay Leno's no longer doing the show to make a joke out of it.
That would have been great.
That would have been great.
I'd have to get the better half here, get some batteries and everything. I'm going to be useless for about a month.
Something.
Okay.
All right. We are now going to move on to our last topic of the day, and I think it's worth mentioning. Jesse, love or hate the results of Money in the Bank? They're finally pushing young talent. Why are people bitching? I'm just gonna throw it out there.
You know,
you hated Goldberg 17 times in the last 3 years, but now they finally give you somebody new, and they're all mad about it.
First of all, fuck Bill Goldberg.
I'm aware.
we don't care.
You've made that abundantly clear.
Next time I see him in person, I'm gonna say it dead to his face too. But second of all, the Austin Theory thing, I do not understand. I get being upset on how it was done. Now, as I call him in the PWL, I call Gene the Professor.
Yeah.
Because like yourself, Leroy, the guy's been around a long time, knows more wrestling than I've ever watched in my life. And it really has a great mind for it all. And what me and him were discussing was the fact that I can understand people not liking it because of the way it's been booked and how it's been put together. I get that. Like, I can actually get behind that feeling.
Yeah.
People like Wrestle Talk and some others going out there talking about, man, this just sucks. What? They're actually pushing a 25-year-old talent.
25.
Like you guys have said, WWE never pushes anyone younger than 30, which, by the way, is bullshit because they were pushing Bianca Belair. She was 28, 29.
Yep.
And kid's 25, has Vince McMahon's blessing, has all the main eventers' blessings, has worked his ass off. Like I said, I'm not always the biggest fan of the character.
You're not supposed to be.
And that's it rubs me the wrong way. But
no, I get it.
But 25, kid is working his ass off, and you're fucking hating on him for it.
I think,
and not in a character way.
No, yeah. I think that G made a good point. I think that they needed to let him get over a little more organically.
Sure.
Kind of like he did in The Way.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But the thing about it is that I keep looking at people and I'm like, guys, why are we not acting like we all know wrestling more than we do? This is my problem with the AEW people is we constantly sit there and we constantly act like that wrestling has been reinventing the wheel every decade. No, it hasn't. The way you get someone over has always been the same. If they're a face, you make them into sympathetic. You give them a likable, more controlled personality in which they are just like you. They are relatable. And then the heel's a dick. That's literally wrestling.
Yeah.
And Theory is arguably one of the most unlikable people in all of professional wrestling.
He really is.
And I'm sitting here saying to myself, okay, Miz, you're not supposed to like him.
Right.
Sasha Banks, when she was a heel, she was supposed to make children cry.
Right.
Like, you're not supposed to like Theory. Right. So, to go back to Natty on an episode of To Total Divas, I'm going to go back that far. The worst thing in this business is no reaction.
Right.
It has nothing to do with a good reaction or a bad reaction. It's no reaction. The more you booed Roman Reigns when he was the big dog, the more they put him on television.
Right.
Because at least there was a reaction.
Right.
And they knew that they were either going to get him over or they have this assholeness that they can go back to at some point.
Right.
So, folks, if you want Austin Theory off your television, it's the same thing you've had the power since the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, and the early 2000s.
Right.
just stop talking about him.
Right.
Don't tweet about him. Don't tag him. Don't make a Facebook comment. Because, by the way, folks, if you're wondering on Facebook, all they got to do is go to the top of their Facebook, type in Theory, Austin Theory, and they see all the posts that most people that are public have said about him. So they see the likes, the clicks, guys, I'll say this again because I've had